Good afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time it may be for you, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you're ready because we're in for a long one today. We are here at the very start of the NCSA DuoCup Winter 2026. My name is Acrinator. I'm going to be one of your casters and the producer for today, and I'm joined by Legion2k. As always, how you feeling, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good. Doing good. Nice Saturday. It's a little chilly today, so it's nice to kind of be settled in, get the heat of competition, if you will, to keep things interesting. How about yourself? How are you holding up over there?
I am very grateful that the snow did not turn out to be a blizzard because then I'd be terrified of my power and then randomize would have yet another thing to cause an aneurysm. So, we're doing okay. If for those who are unaware, the server number one out of the four Duo Cup servers is acting a little bit funky, so we're going to be doing the qualifiers that we're going to be seeing in just a little bit in server two, and we're basically just going to be avoiding anything on this broadcast with server one randomize requested, and he's the boss. So if you
Yep.
see if you
Let's
see a
do it.
match in the bracket that you want to see, but it's in server one, you might have to hop over to like Alex or Randomizer's streams because they'll be covering all of that. But yeah, I think we're going to be getting into the qualifier in just a little bit. I think we're still waiting on some
Yep.
players to get situated. So, Legion, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be seeing because the Dual Cup is not like normal competitions, dare I say.
No. No, it's a little different. I mean, Duo, you have two players, of course, but there are 20, I believe it's 21 teams this time around. So
I think so.
we've got a lot to do. So we got five maps that we will be playing for. I think we saw it last time we did the broadcast. I think the only one that swapped in is American Lions. I believe that was from
Coconut is
uh
also swapped in.
oh, that's true. Yes, Coconut as well. But we'll be doing five maps. Whatever the order is whatever is decided. 5 rounds each. Points are in a repetition of course, of all things. It starts at 100, and then it goes to 85, 75, 67, 61, and then it goes down to 58, and starts there. And from there, it starts trailing off by two. And then when you get all the way down to 32, it'll start trailing off to one until you finally get to one. So everybody's getting points. Just a matter of how many points you're getting. Of course, it's not just you, it's also your teammate. So we're going to be here for a little while. Of course, it's just going to be rounds mode. We're not doing any cup modes or anything like that. But after all of that is said and done, we are going to go into that double elimination bracket, and that's where all the time's going to be going. It's a 2v2v2v2, so that's a four set, if you will. The top two will move on. The bottom two will go to the lower bracket, or if they're already down there, eliminated. Acrinator, this is going to be a long day for you and I,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's going to be a longer day for the drivers.
Certainly, especially if they're like right at the very edge of qualifying, right?
Yep.
If they get sent down to
Mhm.
the lower bracket pretty early on and they just keep going and going and going. You can see, if you're noticing in chat, we do
Yep.
in fact have Mr. Karj himself playing. He's on a team with Neil. There's a lot of players in this lobby right now. Only the first 8 teams are going to be showing up at the top of the screen. Everyone else will be calculated just off screen, so everything is being tabulated. They're going to be put in the right places. Um, but from these qualifiers, there are stakes right off the bat because, like Legion said, we have 21 teams. I think it is. I think it was 22 or 23 originally. We had like one or two
Somewhere in there.
teams who couldn't make it today. But we're gonna have a few teams drop out immediately from this qualifier because we're narrowing everything down to just 16 teams, is my understanding. So we have the potential. Let me actually, I think I can pull up the bracket. Yeah, so let me, while we're just waiting for everything to get situated there, we can actually just, share the screen here. And you can see right here that, yeah, the top 16 teams are going to make it through the qualifiers. They're going to start in that upper bracket round one. And then, from there, all of this, not the playoff bracket part at the bottom there, but all of this is going to be today. And, obviously, the teams are going to want to win 3 games and just qualify instantly, but only 2 teams can do that. The rest, they're going to have to go all the way through the lower bracket and fight their way through a rather grueling gauntlet, a pretty long day. I mean, the last match is slotted to start at 9 p.m. EST. It's currently 4:04 right now by my clock, and then obviously the playoff bracket tomorrow, I believe, yeah, only covers 4 teams. So we're gonna do a lot of culling here today, Legion.
Yeah, hopefully you've got your water ready. I don't. I was like, oh yes, I will clean my cup out. I have plenty of time before anything happens. Like 10 o'clock. That's wow. I was like, that's weird. That's a weird time to start it, but I guess whatever. And then playing Factorio, I just jumped on with a friend. And then you're pinging
Oh,
me. I'm like, what's happening? Why is everyone pinging me? What do you guys want? And it's just like, cool. I got my times wrong. So hopefully you're able to keep yourself moist.
that's one way of putting it. As you can see as well, there's quite a lot of UI here. Some of it, personally, I love. I'm a stats nerd. But we do have the world records over on the right side. You got the first 8 teams, not necessarily the highest scoring teams. It's just literally the first 8 teams that are input. Um, and then who is pinging me? Okay, that is just an announcement overall, so we're good. I wanted to make sure that wasn't broadcast chat because that's always terrifying. But we're good. We're getting there. We do have a good number of players hopping in. Uh, just checking. I love how like immediately after the pause, Carl Jr. of all people's like, "Hey, why the pause? Let's go. Let's get it going, man. Gotta qualify for tomorrow."
I know. Well, he's already looking towards tomorrow. I mean, he's
Yeah,
paired up with
Neil.
who's yeah, exactly. So that's I mean that's going to be obviously I guess the team to watch
Yeah.
is the Carl Jr. Neil. I mean
Oh,
that's a very common duo though. We see it all the time in a lot of competitions that actually do these kinds of formats and when it specifically pertains to North America, obviously I know Carl Jr. has his other teammates on the other side of the planet, but for now he's got to stick with Neil. But we'll watch and see how everyone else does. We are into the first round here on Lumavale. If you've been around recently, this map will be very, very familiar. We were running this last time. Acrinator and I were on stream together, and well, right now, surprisingly, it is Flimsy leading the way with Noisia. Never mind, Noisia just died. So it's actually Fegley and Charles that are up there. Uh, we talked about it already. Acrinator. It's 5 maps, 5 rounds apiece, so 25 rounds between now and that bracket. Besides the obvious, are there any duos who you see going far?
ooh. Um, that's tough because I think like the obvious ones, like Neil and Carl Jr. You have Cackney and Noisia. They're probably going to qualify. I think you have Mixotica and Charles as well somewhere in the
Yep.
mix. Yeah, you can see Charles right there. We didn't put in the team name. Well, not we. Alex and Randomized didn't have enough time to put in all the team names. I don't blame them. That's a lot to do all at one go. Um, One team I'm kind of looking out for is it's Dummy and I think it's Hope. Yeah, Dummy and Hope, who I haven't seen much of Hope, but I know they're on Holy Dynasty, and a little bit I have seen of them. They look rather impressive, so I'm curious to see if they can kind of fill that teammate role of Dummy that's usually goes to Cosmos, who is playing in this competition, but I believe he's playing with someone else from HD. The joke is that they're 2 old codgers, basically. It's much older players, so I don't know what the age of Hope is, but I'm assuming probably younger, or
I
at the
would
very least
assume.
more, confident. Because Dummy, as we saw last week in PATC, had a lot of potential to upset. No, Charles, that is not the line, but we'll have to see. I think there's a few other teams here and there, but it's going to be hard to really pin them down here with all the chaos going.
Yeah, especially right now. You got everybody in one server. Everybody's fighting for points. And I mean, right now it's going great. You got Zake up there somehow holding off both Carl and Neil, which is mighty impressive as we head in towards the end. It's going to be the Canadian getting a slightly better line, and Zake, it was a very wonky setup. So from first down to third, and possibly going to get swallowed up by 2 more. So it was looking like a first place for him. Turns into 5th, but his teammates right behind him to sort of negate that much point lost. But we're already seeing very close rounds. I mean, along the side, you can see we've got everybody except for 3 drivers within a second of each other, and even
Yeah.
from there, if you go towards the top 5, they're all separated by less than a quarter second. So we're already seeing some really good times coming out here. We're already seeing some rather strong players putting their best foot forward. So for now, it is still map 1 of 5, but for right now, it is
Yeah.
just about, if you have a bad map that's coming up, we'll try and cushion that as much as you can before we actually get there. I mean, you and I talked about it during PATC with, having the map that you don't like early or late. It's going to be the same thing here. Is do you have your worst map at the start, and then you have to play catch up from there, or do you have your worst map somewhere in the middle where you have a little bit of time to relax, or is it at the end where you really have to stress about getting as many points as you want early?
Yeah, it's really going to depend, especially because today, like we said, is so cutthroat. Tomorrow, I guess, is probably going to be less cutthroat. You're going to be, trimming away less teams, but the competition is also going to be terrifying because you're probably going to be facing down like the 7-time world champion at some point tomorrow
Like
if you
that.
make it. I've lost track at this point. He might have lost track as well. One important thing to note as well as there's 2 names in here that people probably don't recognize at all: Zake and Mayu. Zake is keyboard abuser and Mayu is Liquid. They changed
Okay, good to know.
names. We're probably just going to call them their in-game names because it's easier than trying to remember which one is which, but that is both of them. I had to double check on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the thing is when you start referencing someone's like the usual username they use in this lobby, everybody's gonna look through the scoring sheet or whatever, and they're gonna wait, where's this guy? He's not here. What do you mean? He's not playing right now, and then you have to explain it. So I agree. Why did they switch names?
I, players do what players do. I don't know, man. But
That's true. Too
it's
too much freedom for the players is what I'm hearing. Okay.
yeah. They have to take advantage of that. What is it? Monthly Ubisoft name change? That's free, something like that.
Oh, you can do that once a month, really? I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's monthly or it might be bi-monthly because that's why Lingo is doing it so often back when. Now he seems to have
Oh,
stabilized at Lingo, but it's like, hey, it's free, might as well. But of course, that runs the risk of someone else stealing your username. But I don't think that's ever been a huge issue for most people.
we
Probably.
could make it an issue.
That is
You
not a
want
challenge, chat. Don't do it.
chat, do it. Don't listen to them.
Listen to the devil on your
It's the
shoulder.
new year. It's time to do something different.
Identity theft, everyone's favorite pastime.
Well,
But
yeah, I have like 6.
no, that's
Allegedly.
schizophrenia. That's different. But, but either way, as Dummy mentioned earlier, if you're watching the chat in the bottom left, because I have no idea how to turn that off with this UI, despite all the crazy buttons on this UI, that's one of the few things I can't figure out. Dummy was asking, hey, I thought Carl didn't train, and he certainly did not at the start of the stream today have any positions on the leaderboard. But as you can see in the middle top right, Carl now has put a public 4th world time on the leaderboards. So
Just a
yeah, no, I think
casual.
he trained.
No, he just got lucky.
He's fast learning. It's fine.
Yeah.
C.
No, it's not C. That just pulls it up.
Oh, it actually does. You
Yeah,
press it
that one
twice.
I use
Okay.
that all the time. We'll figure it out. I'm sure someone
No,
will
it's
be
you press C
helpful.
twice. I got it. Okay, thank you, Noisia.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to forget that immediately the next time I have to produce something, but it's fine because we do have a slightly less cluttered UI now, as we can just assume Dummy is chatting away. Technically.
He always is. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's just his constant state of being. His head is going to explode if he doesn't. But you see some familiar names, up towards the top basically every single time. Someone we haven't seen participate, and I believe both NAC and PATC, Wiggity. Very fast driver, again, just wasn't participating in those solo events. Seems to enjoy the duo stuff more, and putting up some pretty decent times, all things considered.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised. It's kind of nice when you do have those guys that maybe don't play the solo cups come in and actually do something like duo or a team competition. Because then you always ask yourself, it's like, well, why don't you just do why don't you just do the solo things? It's like, well, they don't. Number one, they don't have to. Number two, I think it's kind of a way for them to sort of hide their pace. Not to say that every competition, is going to use the same maps, but in a sense that not showing how good you are doesn't really give potential opponents a chance to scout you, I guess, if that makes any sense. You know, I obviously people like Carl or Mutta or Granati, you know, they kind of just do everything anyway, so they don't
Yeah.
really care all that much. But for some people, that's actually a really, you know, big thing is they don't want to show their hand. They don't want to show how much pace they actually have. And duo cups like this and even team formats kind of give them a chance to almost hide it in a way. You know, they can kind of hide amongst the crowd, if you will, of other drivers. So that way, you know, they might be putting up an impressive time, but it's not on full display, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. And, well, speaking of full display, everyone's favorite map from PATC, including Nixotica, who is the mapper for this one. It's the Epic Bacon map with the ending that both Cackney and Noisia profess their love for basically every single round in PATC,
Oh,
despite
yeah.
the fact that
Yep.
they have the top 2 times in the world, although it's not showing, and I think that's just because the warm-up is going. But yeah, no, if the leaderboard loads, you'll see they're top 2, barring any of Carl's private times, because he's the one notable name that wasn't on any of the leaderboards coming into the qualifiers. I checked like half an hour before booting up the stream, so well, you can see him right in front of Falco Grind right now in the warm-up, and he looks pretty comfortable. So methinks he at least has done a cursory discovery run.
Yeah, just a little something to, understand where the map is going, and then from there, I mean, you just sort of figure it out. Carl does that on occasion. He just plays the maps for like 30 minutes, understands, and goes, all right, cool, here's like 8 world records in a first place because, hi, I'm Carl Jr. But,
Yep.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, there's a lot of TM to be played today. There's a lot of TM to be played tomorrow. So, these times are only going to come down. They're only going to get quicker. And eventually we are going to be seeing rounds that might only be decided by a couple of hundredths of a second, really. I mean, I don't have my crystal ball in front of me. I can't tell you exactly how it's going to go, but for the time being, I can certainly make an educated guess.
Certainly, and Flimsy up towards the lead right now. Hope, someone we mentioned earlier, is not necessarily knowing too much about them. He's up towards the front, like top 5-ish, more or less. Charles finds a lot of speed.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's the red name tag. It's easier to find.
That's true. Yeah, he's running in 3rd right now. Charles had a wonky transition. I just caught it too, so that's him out of the round. But Flimsy and Neil are going head-to-head here. Neil's just going to get it a little bit better, and Hope does get the overtake on Cackney right at the end, so good round from him. His teammate Toast Wade, or not Toast, sorry. It is Dummy. Did not have the best round. Oh, what is happening here? Oh, we're having problems. All right, never mind.
Okay, that's.
I noticed Hope was like respawning the finish, and I was like, you can respawn the finish, like after you cross it. That's amazing. I had no idea. I guess the fact that it is kind of coded, I would assume roughly the same way as a checkpoint, would make sense that you might be able to respawn it.
I have no idea, but either way,
I don't either.
We're currently in a pause. Might as well bring it back to our lovely faces, as yeah, I think they're just trying to get technical difficulties situated. As dealing with custom servers is always fun. Just ask Randomize if he is coherent at the moment through his blind rage. Hopefully not, but I know the man well enough.
I can only imagine what that apartment sounds like right now. I probably can't say any of the words, but I have a decent idea of what's being said. So,
if you have the slightest imagination, you're probably correct.
If you have any experience with New Jersey culture, you'll have a pretty better idea, I would say. Oh, geez. Well, we've got through one map. Sorry, we've got one map. And we hit the issue. I'm surprised we didn't get it in the first map. I feel like we usually do.
Yeah,
like
right.
One of the rounds
goes
at
earlier.
First. Right. So now that it's not, it's the second. It's the second map, the best map of all time. Is good to know. So we'll definitely just keep things going here. I guess I'm actually gonna take the time to disable a couple of plugins. Probably should have done that before, but we don't have to talk about that.
whatever. It works. I just turned off the script engine entirely. For those who are curious what's happening in chat, Nixotica is talking about script settings on servers and game modes and, a bunch of whatever.
Technical
Technical talk
nonsense.
that we don't have to worry about. But yeah, interesting stuff. Either way, right now we do have trying to sound enthusiastic there.
Carl Jr. telling Neil that he should skip it for qualifiers, and he's saying that he's really really mad because it's his best map. So he's probably already lightly brushed aside something on his desk in a typical French Canadian rage. It's not much, it's
Uh,
sort of there. You're like, all right, man, you do that. We'll be here trying to figure it out. But we'll hopefully. I mean, if we have to skip it for this, then I mean, oh well. I mean, we've got other good maps going on.
yeah, we got 5 in total. It might just
We've
screw
got
up the math, but it's not our problem.
Bloomvale, Bacon. We've got Coconut, American Lions, and the other one is, don't tell me. I know this one. I don't know this one. Can you tell me?
Which
I
ones
forget.
did you mention? It was
Uh,
Coconut
Bacon, Lumavale, Coconut, and Lions.
and oh shoot, what was the other one?
I'm gonna step out and check. Hold on. Uh, Bug Spray.
Bug
Good
spray.
old
Yeah.
Bug Spray. We love
Yep.
Bug Spray. You guys love Bug Spray. If you're here for PATC, you know exactly what we're talking about. If you don't, oh, you're in for a treat. Let me tell you, that is one of the spicier ones I think that we've had, especially for
Yeah.
PATC. I think that was one that I think gave people the most trouble.
Yeah.
Not to say that it was like overly difficult and these drivers didn't train, but like it's a bug slide. Sometimes it's a little inconsistent. That's okay. But I know that Bacon here, especially, was a map that people had some opinions about.
Yeah. Certainly, Nixotica had opinions, and he mapped it. So.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he mapped the thing. It is always funny when you have the mapper come in and play their map because it's like
Who put
either
the
they're
no
gonna
brakes there?
absolutely destroy. They're either gonna destroy you or they're gonna pull a Nixotica. That's what I'm calling it. So, uh, yeah, hopefully we can get things sorted out. Everyone's kind of just, I mean, taking the time to at least practice the map if they need to. One thing I do want to mention is with this map, if we do get to play it on Bacon, is that I would say almost the extended engine, or not engine off, the no brake section at the end, because there's a lot of that pitching of the car, of the nose and the tail. And you look at that and you say, oh, why don't they just air brake to be more consistent? But they can't because of that engine, or the no brakes, which I think is, I would like to see more people do that in these competitive maps in a sense like that, because I feel like it's kind of that next added step. Maybe not like the big thing that everyone starts doing, but at the very least, it is something that you can do to kind of make your map a little bit more spicy. If I do say so. I mean, I'm not a spicy mapper, but I've seen what people can create.
Yeah, I'm just checking chat. It looks like they might
Yep.
be making custom versions of the maps. I think part of the issue was like the block that the ending was made on, like screwed things
Yeah.
up and made it so that it was like multi-lap or whatever.
Oh,
Um,
no, it's because they have the multi-lap block there. Because it's
Something
it's the
along those
standard.
lines.
I'm looking at it right now. It's the regular finish gate, like the one that we all use, and then
Yeah.
it's just off to the left, the safe finish, if you will, is the multi-lap block. And I know a lot of people do use that for like risky fins and whatnot. Um, and it does use that the diagonal block, because um I believe that is part of the like standard block set, is you have the diagonal pieces and they will have like the checkpoints or the finishes or the multi-lap in this case. So um if they got to switch it up, I mean they'd have to get it kind of close, I would say, if they just change it to a regular diagonal road and throw in a finish block. But We'll see what happens. I know that.
I think they changed a server setting actually. I think they forced the
Uh,
server to just say no multi-lap. So like it
yeah,
only
that's what
counts
it's
as one
doing.
lap. So I think we might be getting back into it in just a moment, folks.
Yep.
It wouldn't be Duo Cup without it. But
It wouldn't be an NACS competition without it.
yeah, that's certainly true.
Like, no shade, but it's kind of there were times where like I do like tournaments and I'm just like, all right, when's it gonna mess up? Something's gonna break, and then nothing breaks, and I'm like, wow, we did good this time. So,
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's also it's TM. They made it out of the coating's like popsicle sticks and duct tape. So I mean, we're
Hopes and
working with what we got
dreams.
here. Hopes and dreams. That's what. Yes, hopes and dreams. A lot of hopes and dreams. Let's see.
I think we're getting
I
we're
think.
posturing to get in, so I'm just gonna send us into the
Yep.
in-game screen so we don't miss any of the action. But
Yep. Get
I think
ready. So we'll
yeah,
see.
okay.
I mean, if well, because randomized said that it can't be. Oh, it's too high up in the chat. He basically said that they couldn't make that alteration live. They would have
Yeah,
to reset everything, and they really don't want to do that, understandably so.
obviously. Yeah.
So what I'm gonna guess is gonna happen is they will just have to either push through and hope it triggers, or what will probably end up happening is most likely if they can't do that is people are probably just gonna have to duck for that safe finish for it to count.
Hmm.
Because again, if the script in the server is saying, "Hey, it's a multi-lap, there's a multi-lap, you still have another lap to do," then I I would say crossing the start finish line would or the yeah, that start finish block would probably be the better of the two options. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see when we get there.
Yeah, we have about what 20, maybe 30 seconds remaining of that, and you can see, at least up towards the front, we'll get our first few Fegley. It's not a banger of a run right now. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the records showing anywhere, but we can see a lot of people up towards the front. We're in the mud briefly there, but we're back up towards the front. Fegley should be able to give us our first indicator of whether this worked or not, whether Randomize is going to freak out. We can hear it from, up here in New England. Neil actually steals first place, and I think it worked.
I think so too. I would have to agree. It seems like oh, nope. Carl went through and he's still driving. All right,
Oh,
it did not work.
okay. That's yeah, okay. So
So
they gotta figure that out.
I don't know. I'm gonna suggest the start fin block because I maybe that works. I don't know. This is weird because like you'd think. I have no idea. I
Yeah,
guess now people can do all those weird tricks. We could see some like people could practice like their dragon yeets. I don't know. There's an option.
yeah. I think according to what Gabo's saying in chat, they're just gonna have to remake versions of the maps without the multi-lap finishes.
Hmm.
So we might,
We are skipping.
yeah, or we could just skip the entire map depending on what. Oh, are we going back in?
Well, randomize opted to skip the map, which it makes more sense because if they have to remake the
Yeah,
map, I mean, it's not going to take like too long. But if
it
they
does
have to
screw up the
remake the
points.
map, right, and it's just gonna take too long because they would have to. I feel like they basically just have to write everything down and then run that map on
Yeah,
that like the new bacon map, and then just add everything together manually. But then there's also ECM that's being run, so we'll see how this
yeah.
goes. This is also going to be a bit tricky because Coconut has the start finish block as its risky or as its finish.
Yeah, I
All
wonder.
right, well, we'll see how this goes. We'll try it again.
Yeah, can I'm just gonna keep chat open for a minute now in case the TOs give us any more information. Once
Yeah,
we're
like Rocco.
stabilized, especially once we're into the bracket, I'll hide it. But I think for now, everyone just wants to know what the hell's going on. I wonder if the the situation of like having the multi-lap plus the regular finish affected it at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe because it's counting. Because you have to set the thing with making a map with a multi-lap is you have to manually set like the lap counter because in I know for a fact. Also, is this track like a different color? Like, isn't it supposed to be blue?
Um, it was,
Yes,
yeah. So they
it's
might have,
not. Oh, it's a DC edition. That's why.
yeah, I was gonna say they might have adjusted it for this tournament because randomized would
DuoCup, you're right.
absolutely do that.
Yeah. Anywho, when you do put in that multi-lap block, I believe the game defaults it to 2 laps.
Hmm.
So I mean, but then again, we ran this. We ran this last week at PATC. So I'm.
All right,
All right,
good.
let's see.
It looks
Hold
good.
on, let's see if anyone starts driving. If people start disappearing, then we're good.
I do know.
All right, we did it.
I didn't check in the previous map, but jeez, I didn't check in the previous map, but on this map, in the top right corner, it did say lap 1 out of 1. I didn't check if it said like lap 1 out of 2 or whatnot, but I think we're good. So it might just be Epic Bacon that can't be, counted for the qualifier or whatever. But I think we're good.
It seems like it. I mean, it worked. So we didn't have an instance where people were respawning the finish. So we've moved up in the world.
Yeah.
But
we're going
places,
we are
back. We are not anywhere important, but we are going places. But we are back in with competition. It is Coconut for map 2. Currently on top, none other than Carl Jr. and Neil at 911, and they have quite the gap, over 200 points down to second place of Noisia and Cackney at 694, and then Nixotica and Charles, the classic North American duo, besides obviously Carl and Neil, at 662, and then it's Flimsy and PC with 637, and then 628 with Fegley and Barry. So outside, of course, the top 2, it's pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, keep in
mind,
only the top 16 teams are surviving through this seeding. So hopefully no team was biting on Epic Baking being their saving grace there. But yeah, no, I would say it's hard to really count it because obviously it's 1 and 2 are the same team, 3 and 4 are the same team, but by the counts it looks like it could be pretty close. The car skin dummies using looks like a soccer ball you have. This is the Team USA skin for the TM games. There's actually a couple other players that have it, I believe. Fegley as well. He has the different color one. He's the black one.
Yep, we saw them a lot at PATC as well, because that's not next week. Oh no, yeah, it is next week. TM game starts up next Saturday, so I'll be there. I'm not competing. I'm not good enough. I'll be commentating though.
I will be sleeping because it starts at like 6 a.m. East Coast, something like that.
That's something like that. I mean, you could put in your availability. There's like, I think I'm the only American on the broadcast, if I remember correctly. So
there's a reason for that. None of us want to wake up.
No, I know. They're like, hey, Legion, you'll do it. I'm like, I guess.
Who needs sleep?
No, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, no, because I'm going to a concert next week as well. Damn, all right. That's fine. It's Fox Stevenson. It's worth it. So, I'll be fine. I'll make it. But, yeah, we have... How many teams do we have for that already? At least 4.
For TM games?
Yeah, there's at least 4 teams.
I mean, you are factually correct.
There you go.
There's has to be like closer to 50, 60 teams. I think there's a couple countries I saw like just did not have enough people, but I'd imagine like the US definitely does, Canada definitely does, the obvious contenders in Europe obviously do.
Yep. That Twitter account has been pumping those tweets out. It's insane. I check back every 3 seconds and there's another one.
Yeah, and some of the teams are a little bit slower to, make up their graphics or anything. And I think I do not envy the TOs or their, social media folks for that. That's a lot of stuff to organize.
Yep, but we'll worry about that. We got to worry about DuoCup. We got 21 teams, so like you said, we're going to be saying goodbye to 5 of them after qualifying is over. So
I think so, yeah.
If you happen to somehow be spectating this, basically anybody who is not in basically below position 32, those teams are in danger right now of not making it through. Thankfully, if you scroll all the way down the leaderboard, it will list 33 down to the bottom. So that's very convenient.
We do have, well, you can see, I don't know the team names. Well, this one's Air Red, Helix and Lava. That one is Unk Ohio. I'm not familiar with this, or the Gromit one, or the Dr. Schnizzle Breakless one, but I don't want to be mean, but compared to some of the other names on the field, I'm not too surprised those are the teams that are struggling to, steal those
No.
top spots. It's like,
I mean,
it's a rough playing field. This is a high level competition.
it is, yeah.
It really is.
I think it's also due to the fact that there isn't as much, I would say, competition as you would find in like Europe, especially even within, say, a country like Germany or France, where you have so many of these talented players. Over in North America, of course, we do have our talents, and same with Central and South America, but the number of them is quite slimmer, and by default, the competition's a lot harder because you'll have such a spread of skill. Say Germany has, just throwing a number out here, say 5,000 competitive players, right? You are much more able to find close competition there than you would in, NCSA, and let's just make it easy and say it's 1,000, right? Let's say it's 20%. So because of that lower one player count and two lower competitive player count, you end up having much wider divides than you would find normally, just because, again, it's that lower population. So yeah, I'm not surprised there are some people who are struggling.
Yeah, and even in these cases, right? Like some of these lower level players. That sounds so derogatory, but I don't mean it. Just like by comparison.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back to. Oh, okay. So we have.
Did we fix it?
It's a DC edition. It says so.
Okay.
I think they might have snuck it in.
I want to swing over to the finish. So the risky is still there. So, interesting. So it's the same finish as before. It's got that diagonal start-finish line that we see in multi-laps.
Oh, randomized says it's going to pause after warm-up, so they might just be skipping it.
Okay. Maybe it was a chance to see if it worked? I don't know.
Me neither. We'll find out. I don't know. We're just here for the ride. We're here to talk over whatever happens, not control what happens. Let's see what the boss man says.
Well, it won't work now because we're paused, so. Let's see.
Oh, wait, maybe we are playing it and he's just checking on Noisia.
Yeah, Noisia's back, so.
Game crash, all capital.
Thank you, Nadeo.
I think we're just waiting on him to get situated, and then I think we might actually be playing this one. So who knows? Maybe they finagled the code on the back end of whatever finish issues they had. We might be able to tell when it's unpaused if the lap counter says 1 out of 1. That would just be my guess. Again, I couldn't catch it last time. Someone on the stream might be able to, I don't know, go back afterwards and check the VOD and be like, was it? Well, yeah, it says 1 out of 1, so I don't know, fingers crossed.
I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. So now we will actually, hopefully, God willing, play on Epic Bacon. Maybe it's the fact that it's Epic Bacon dipped. Maybe it's the title length that's causing it. Who knows?
That'd be funny.
You know what? With how this game is coded, it wouldn't surprise me. I feel like something like that would break. But we'll see. We got hopefully 5 rounds to play here, and if not, I'm assuming that we'll just skip it. That's the easiest thing to do, is just skip it, go next, and work out a solution in the meantime. But Noisia, coming from the game crash, is leading with Carl Jr., Raceland, Fegley as well, are pretty much right on top of each other, along with Wiggity and Cackney, Dummy. A lot of positions being gained, but we are going into the finish. Noisia makes a little bit of a clip, but Fegley's got some speed compared to Carl Jr. He's down the inside. He'll jump through the finish, and will it count?
It looks like it
yes,
works.
It will. It will count. So we are back in business.
Okay. Well, whatever voodoo magic they did behind the scenes, it worked because we're all good to go. No more technical difficulties, knock on wood. But I think we're solid here.
Yeah, I think Randomize just leaned out his window and started screaming to the heavens for it to work, and
Nadia!
God's like, some Nadeo employee just woke up, was like, all right, fine, I'll fix it.
I don't even think it's a Nadeo problem. I think it was a server issue. I don't know whose servers it is.
Don't listen. Hey, we'll get the Technomancers back here. Swear to God.
That's just an Exotica, and he's playing.
I'll get the Adeptus Mechanicus in here. Watch me.
Oh dear, I saw Lava Staff just utterly die on the no
I did too, yes.
section. So that's a hard respawn, and well, everyone else, as you can see, is in a little bit of a train on their way towards the finish line. No one touches the water that we can see, and well, Nee currently is giving us a decent camera angle of the pack, being just a little ways behind that. Plenty of familiar names. Usually you don't see quite as many players up on the field, but Charles, usually see him up further in the mix as he gets a little bit of a clip there. See if he'll be able to regain some positions towards the end. Let's hop a little bit further up into the pack. Raceland trying to cut the line a little bit. Oh dear. And the photo finish there changed just ever so slightly towards the very final milliseconds.
Beautiful. That was a lot of extra speed there. I think Flimsy just got the wheels down compared to Fegley. I think Fegley had a much more level approach to the end, so it was Flimsy was able to get the wheels down sooner and really get that speed up a lot quicker. So that is great. Fegley is still in, his team is in second, Flimsy up to third, so a little position switch here as we head into round number 3 of Epic Bacon dipped in awesome sauce. Is there anybody, I would say, more towards the midfield that you're looking towards doing well? I can play favorites and say someone like my boy Miggy, who is kind of down in the dumps right now. That's okay. But even someone like Sin 007 or Sully or Cat Curly Fries, I think they have a pretty decent shot of, getting some damage done to these other teams, at least in qualifying. We'll have to see how it goes in that rounds format, though.
Yeah, I've kind of been keeping an eye on Sambertooth, or Samber, as his username has changed, and Repster. Two older fellows from Kentucky. I believe I don't know if Repster's on HD. I'm pretty sure Samber is. I know they have the potential to perform out of their minds, but on these maps with this playing field, Raceland has a huge amount of speed. It actually snipes Charles at the very last moment. That was a fortunate spectating coincidence, but that was a beautiful little snipe. Too bad it was only for a couple extra points. Well, 15 extra points, actually. So, first place does matter here. Gets your team up closer to that quadruple digits, which, bragging rights at the very least.
Yep. That's good. They're right now, Raceland and Toto are in 8th place. We'll see if that switches. Oh, they're going to go up to 6, so that 100 points coming in clutch there. But it's still the Carl Jr. Neal show. It's still almost a 400 point gap to second place, and I'm surprised that it's not as close. It's close between fourth and fifth, but we are seeing second and third start to pull away a little bit as everyone else is squabbling for positions, and then there's actually a huge gap from fifth to sixth of almost 200 points. So despite the point, you'd almost assume that the point spread like this would allow for maybe something closer of competition, but it seems like it continues to show that you can really make some gaps if you're just consistent, not even just fast. There's some speedy drivers, but some of them are making these little mistakes, and others are just consistent, maybe a little slow. And then there's people like Carl Jr. and Neal. And as we go into the finish, Carl! There is no way.
No. Oh, Noisy kept it.
Oh, because it's right. He was at the checkpoint. He had the checkpoint.
Yep. He had the previous checkpoint first. So even though Carl technically did overtake,
he probably beat him
away,
like a 10,000th of a second.
Yeah. But doesn't matter because they tied to the millisecond, and Noisia had the better checkpoint previously. You can see on the leaderboard here, I tried to position the cutoff at 32 and below. So you can see the teams that are in the hot seat, Lava and Helix. were, I think, in like 17th position for a couple of rounds there, but they've managed to climb themselves up, and they're not necessarily safe as they have like what, a dozen points separating them from that
Just
cutoff.
about.
But
Yeah.
that's Wiggity dying hard. Okay, let's hop on board with Samber, who has a better perspective of the leaders. Which, is anyone surprised that Neil and Carl are up towards the front? Although Neil
Well, now it's just Carl
vanished.
Jr.
He was reduced to atoms. Apparently, I don't know where he went.
Well, even now with the respawns, everybody's separated by just under a second, at least in this top, what is that, 12 we're looking at here? So, still close competition. I mean, Carl is not really getting away. He's getting some good end lines, but... Oh, Fegley, never mind. Fegley with a big touch there on the light pole, so that'll promote Carl up. Noisia's up. Raceland was on for a third, but now he's on for fifth. Oof. And that's how quickly it can go from good to bad here in a duo cup with this many players, is that you make one mistake and every single person, it feels like, just drives by you, and you go from what, second to like last.
Basically, yeah. Especially for this competition, because you have a good number of players who in NCSA can show up if they practice, and this is certainly one of the events that Randomized tries to emphasize. Like, you cannot fast learn this. You are not Carl Jr., and even he's not fast learning this. Probably, it's hard to tell with him sometimes, but we get into it, and it's like, oh yeah, no, these players are just consistent. They're able to climb their way up the leaderboard. And if you make a small mistake, you're just gonna get passed.
Yep, and
Just
right
don't
now,
make those
if
mistakes.
you're talking about you don't want to make mistakes. Lava and Helix, Topic and Falco, and Miggy and Naysayer only separated by 7 points. 7 points in 3 teams, and then from there it's Tonus and Armbarger at 519. So they're really gonna need to get some miracles here. But hell, even throw Breakless and Dr. Schnizzle in there from 690 down to 672 is what, 18 points? I predict we see something close. I think we do see somebody get eliminated by maybe a handful of points, maybe 5.
Oh, probably. But I mean, like, let's be honest here. If one of these players had a good round and got like, top 8 in the round, that's going to like make up the entirety of that point difference and really skyrocket their team. So if you're on these teams right now, it might be worth it to have one of the players just send it in the hopes of getting those extra few points.
But just have both of them send it.
Well,
like, you can get more points that way, Acrinator, come on.
When you look at like the overall strategy of the duo thing, especially with this year's World Tour, especially because we have, the defending world champion, one of them in the lobby right now, it seemed like, having someone like Carl who could safe it, with someone like Pac who could just send it. We called Dummy the King of Send last weekend, but I think, that would actually be the international King of Send, and Exotica is able to steal away that first place. Although I don't think his team is particularly, him and Charles are pretty safe here. It's really these other people that you can see on the leaderboard now. It's, like Topic getting a good 40 points. That's going to position them pretty well.
It will, and see if they can sort of keep that momentum through American Lions. That lead up top getting even more. So there it is. Good rounds, bad rounds is all it's really going to take here in a duo cup. Normally you just have to worry about yourself, but now you've got to worry about too many other people. So the cutoff right now is, well, currently it's a 12-point gap. So easy to overcome, but when you're making mistakes and maybe running roughly the same pace, it really does come down to concentration and grit. You're going to hope that your opponent has a quick, very short lapse in concentration, and you can capitalize on that, while at the same time hoping you don't fall to that same fate. But right now it is still all to play for. We still have one more map after this before we go.
Do you know which one that is?
Would it happen to be Bug Spray by chance?
Yep. So if there's gonna be room for mistakes and upsets and God knows what else towards that top 16, it's gonna be that map. Oh, Neil!
Yes.
Whoa. Okay. Neil utterly failed to get the airtime he needed to make the risky finish, so he kind of wobbled over to the safe.
I will say I do like maps that do stuff like that, which is, you mess up the setup for the risky, for example. Instead of having to completely respawn and try it again, you do get that option a little. I call it like almost like a little alleyway to dive down into, so you can minimize the amount of time you lose. Although I know not everybody is gonna share that opinion, but it's yeah, bug spray will not be so kind.
No, it's just get the speed out of the bug slide. Or just die, you know? I mean, we saw that happen quite a few times where people had the wrong angle on the bug slide at the very, very end, and it wasn't even about speed at that point. It was just, oh, they crashed the finish, and not in the good kind of way. It's, full respawn, hope for the best, because you can't salvage that whatsoever. I don't know what happened to Dummy, but he lost all of his speed as basically the entire pack of 20 plus players, it seems, has just zoomed past him. Charles up towards the front with Noisia. I don't see Carl anywhere, so he must have made a mistake. And let's check up towards the front. Charles, Noisia, Cackney, Flimsy, and so on. Neil also up there. So I don't think really the top few teams are going to be moving around too much, dare I say. But again, it's really these teams right here that are fighting for their lives. And, well, it looks like Helix and Lava are maybe making a couple of points on top of. Actually, that might be enough. Are they tied? Are they tied?
No, they'll be down by one.
Oh my god. So they still have a whole nother map. They have the opportunity to potentially, overtake. Those are really the two teams that are fighting for it in the hot seat right now. I mean, you also had, Miggy and Naysayer that were... I feel like they're almost too far behind. One of them really needs to step up if they're gonna. But...
Oh, Miggy, you're making a fool of us. How dare you? How dare you do Massachusetts dirty like that?
But yeah, it's a lot of these teams. Even I'd say Topic and Falco are not necessarily safe, but Sin and Humble probably are. We're sort of getting to that point.
Yeah, Sin and Humble. I don't, unless Bug Spray goes absolutely sideways for them. I think they'll be fine. Yeah, I get sideways. We'll see though. I mean, the other characteristic, if you will, of that risky finish is we do have instances where players do clip the edge of the platform and it does kick the nose up, and you will get a tighter bug slide, which in some circumstances is great. However, on that map, you don't. You want to keep it nice and level, or as level as you can. Grab that bug slide, get around. So we've had a few rounds that were decided by that. We'll probably see that there, and of course, we'll keep an eye on these 3-4 teams roughly. Oh,
that was a big shakeup.
And Falco, that was, yeah. They were. I mean, Sin and Humble are fine. Lava and Helix, 5 points of a gap separate them from 16th position, and then there's 12 for Schnizzle and Breakless to overcome, and then even Naysayer and Miggy have another, 15 on top, so we're looking at 27 points to get in. Yeah. So it's last round of American Lions. You wonder if maybe some of these guys, it's their weaker map?
Possibly. But this is going to be the more, I guess, accessible or the more known map, because this was, someone just died and did a barrel roll, but this map was part of NAC, so, and SAC actually, I believe. So more people are going to know this one, but who knows, maybe they would have been spending more time practicing something like Bug Spray, because it was only to PATC in this, so really only the super high level players that were invited to PATC, because it was a closed event, would have practiced that 4 rounds, so maybe these other players towards this cutoff are practicing that more aggressively because they don't have as much experience on it, but then that leaves them to neglect American Lions. This is all the calculus that has to go on in their heads when they're practicing for this kind of event that they know they're fighting an uphill battle for.
Let's see, there's no swaps in position, so we're gonna go to Bug Slide for the first time here tonight, and potentially for some the run is over, So it's just more about seeing how many points you can come out the other side with. But for others, it's still everything to play for. We've got, once it allows me to pull up the scoreboard, so that cutoff is 16, well, position 32 of Falco, but 16th overall. 904. So Lava and Helix came out of the next map a little better. They got 12 points now, so that was another 6, and it is currently, what, 13 down to Breakless and Schnizzle, and then another 7, so 20 for Miggy and Naysayer to come off. So last map here, Acrinator, before we go into the bracket for this event. Humble and Sin, I think, are fine. I don't think we have to worry about them.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, everybody above them, they're in, cool, whatever. Lava and Helix, Topic and Falco, Schnizzle and Breakless, Nay and Miggy. Do we see any of... Who do you see just making it in? Who do you see getting just enough points to stay ahead? Because it's... I would still call it a four-way fight. I know that Naysayer and Miggy are 32 points off of the... or no, sorry. I'm 30, not 32 points. 20 points off of that last spot. Do you think we see some upsets? Do you think you see some shocks there right at the end?
Oh god, it really depends, right? Because this map is so unlike everything else. I kind of have to see this first round and how it plays out to have any real comfort in saying which of those teams is going to come out better from it, because they're so close that, you know, a good round by comparison is going to set them pretty far ahead. Like, the reason that Lava and Helix jumped up like 2 positions is because they had one good round where both of them scored like 20 plus points, whereas normally with those teams it's like one person maybe scores like 20 and then the other ones maybe score in the single digits somewhere, you know? So getting like 40 to potentially 50 points right off the bat in one round set them really far ahead. You could see, I think that was Charles, who went for the safe finish. So these players gotta have almost knee-jerk reactions for like, okay, this isn't gonna work, just go safe. And, I mean, looking at the leaderboard, well, 40 points for Naysayer and Miggy isn't bad, especially when comparing them to Dr. Schnizzle and Breakless, but then, you know, the teams up ahead of them, it kind of got about even, give or take. Yeah, I mean, Falco and Topic might be able to push ahead of Lava and Helix in terms of points overall, but both of those teams that are, you know, in the hot seat are a little bit less in the hot seat, if you know what I mean. They're just kind of battling for not last.
Well, I mean, even last is still enough to go through to the next stage of this whole tournament. One thing I did want to talk about when you say these knee-jerk reactions and at the end, so the drivers take, you'd almost call it kind of an unconventional line because they have that reactor down as they go into the finish section. So if you keep the reactor like Charles did, you kind of just jump out and you go down to the floor, no problem. But if you do want to take that risky finish, you actually have to set up a little bit wider and grab that reset, so that way you can actually get the bug slide. We have seen a lot of rounds where players do push that, and they really do give it the best they can, and they just miss it. We have seen it time and time again where people decide, you know what, it's better for me to just... Oh. Sorry, I was watching like 8 people miss it.
Notably, though, Topic just got, like, what, 8th place overall? That was a banger run for him. 52 points from one player.
Yep.
Like, that's...
And his teammate got 36.
That's really good
Schnizzle got 50. Oh, but Breakless got 24. Miggy didn't even finish. Oh, that might be it for them. Yeah. All right, Topic and Falco go ahead by 40 points. All right, so I'd be willing to bet that they're fine at this point. With how Lava, Helix, Schnizzle, and Breakless have been driving, I would be maybe willing to bet that Topic and Falco are out of this one. Or out of this in the sense that they made it to the next
they're
round.
Safe
not that they're eliminated. Yeah, I would believe they are safe at this point. It depends. I mean, especially we have, what, 2 more rounds of this? So, well, 3 if you count this one. So depending on how this map or this round goes, I mean, right now you've got none of them are in this top 12. I'm not 100% where they are.
He's just
Topic's
barely.
in 42nd, and oh yeah, Falco's having some slight issues. I don't know. Did I call it too early? I might have called it too early. Oh, lava's way up.
Lava
This
is
might
in a
be
very
around.
good position. Anything that shows up on that leaderboard, because that's obviously not all the players, that's going to give you reasonable points, although he does seem to be falling a little ways behind, but he's close to it, and I don't think much of the competition is there with him.
Gaining some positions here at the end. Does he get this risky?
He
Yes, he does.
does. Ooh,
15th.
okay.
15th's not bad.
I
It
think
could
that
be enough.
would. And Helix got 32 himself, so they should be able to stave off.
Oh, Topic and Falco, they did not get a good round.
Uh,
27 and 19, Schnizzle with 30, and Breakless with 24. So I think Lava and Company will overtake. Well, they
just
don't.
barely not, but they do have a pretty strong difference between them and Breakless and Dr. Schnizzle now. They got like, what, 24 points?
24 points, yes.
Yeah. So that's relatively good. Like you just need to kind of stabilize and get decent points like they have been, because odds are they're not going to be stealing too many points off of like the people who are consistently getting top 16. But being able to get up there at all in this qualifier means that
Mhm.
you can put yourself in a position like Lava and Helix right now where they're probably safe. You just need like finish the round, get more than 10 points, which they've been
Yep.
doing no problem thus far, and they're probably going to be okay. Someone just utterly died. I think that was Repster.
That was Bobster.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Unfortunate for him, but they're relatively safe. They were towards the middle of the pack anyway, so right now they're just
They're
kind of
running at ninth right now.
yeah. So they're fine. I don't think they can lose enough points.
I mean, I don't know if you don't. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. Even if they don't, even if they both DNF the next 2 rounds, I think they're good. For the next stage of the DuoCup. Oh, Lava had to go for safe finish. He did not get the exit he wanted.
Ooh,
21st.
okay.
And his teammate hasn't crossed the line yet.
No, he has. Helix got what's that? 10th,
No,
11th.
Oh, I was looking at Schnizzle. I'm an idiot.
No, Schnizzle did manage to finish actually a pretty decent position in this case. 40 points is nothing
Yeah.
to scoff at, but Lava, yeah, they're just widening the gap at this point. That's like another 20
Right.
points, so they're
Yep. So they're
yeah.
19. No, yeah, 19 points ahead. So Falco, Topic are 24 points clear. So if they want to make it in, Naysayer and Miggy are out at this point. They're done.
I
They can't.
think they're
So
pretty much done.
we have to look at Topic and Falco, Schnizzle, and Breakless. That's the fight. That's where we need to be, because that's going to determine the next stage of this. And we might be seeing some pretty, I would say, big sends. I mean, Schnizzle's in 23rd right now. Breakless is up in or down in 29th.
Oh, Falco.
Topic.
Good
Oh,
situation.
Falco. Oh, Falco. That's a big respawn. Where does that put him? 37th. Oh, it's all going to be on Topic.
Yeah.
If Topic messes up, and he's getting swallowed by the pack right now. He's down in 16th. He's at the very bottom, and now he gets bumped down to 17th. So he is, you can see him just pipping in at the bottom of the scoreboard in 16th position. And there's still more chaos happening. He gets that 15th at the checkpoint, but there is going to be some overtakes here as he goes back to 17th, swings it around. You can see Schnizzle's up there fighting as well into this risky finish. Topic gets 15th or 14th. Schnizzle gets 16th. Breakless crosses the line. Falco crosses the line. I think that's it. I think Falco and Topic are in.
I think you're right, yeah, because the difference between Topic and Schnizzle is a lot larger than the difference between Falco and Breakless.
4 points compared. Oh, yeah, 3 more points get added on. So Topic and Falco make it through with 27 points as a buffer.
And
that is way too close.
I think that's it. Let me.
Yep, we got through all the maps. Randomized said it was last map, last round. So
okay. So I think we're good there. Let's hop back on to us, as it were.
Hello, we're back.
I'm just gonna pull up the spreadsheet. No, it doesn't look like they're updating anything quite yet. They're probably gonna have to take a little bit of time to figure out what's going on. But yeah, we at the very least know who is in the cutoff, and I guess I hate to be mean, but not too many surprises, right? A lot of the players that didn't make it that are gonna get cut off. Were the players that I think were fighting an uphill battle from the very start. So, I mean, any thoughts about all of this, Legion?
Not really. I mean, we had some towards the end, of course, the great battles, people trying to stay in, a little bit of technical mishaps is standard practice for us, but we're used to it. I mean, overall though, I mean, it was pretty good with how everything panned out. Like you said, I mean, there was not the biggest surprises of people who made it through, of course, and that's obviously going to happen whenever you do these kinds of things. But as we go into the bracket, everybody is getting added. So, I mean, it's from here, it's double elimination. So
Yeah,
even if you lose, it's fine. You're not entirely out of this, but you want to stay in that upper bracket because the nice thing about upper bracket is that you are only slated to do a max of 3 rounds.
yeah.
You
If
have
you
that
keep
first
winning,
round, that second round, and the qualifier, you're good. You're good to go. But if you're down in that lower bracket, you have a lot of work to do. You'll have to play perfectly for 4 straight rounds. And if you look at the time for those, if you scroll down, the lower bracket qualifier estimated 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 4 hours from now. Four
yeah,
hours. Have you played Trackmania for what would it be? Say from 4 to 10. You played 6 straight hours. Not just you're playing like campaign and then you hop into shorts and then maybe you do a couple of days. No, no, no. Have you played competitively for 6 straight hours?
I don't think so, and I
It,
don't think I'd want to.
I don't think I've played 6 straight hours of comp TM, but I've definitely played a good handful of hours straight of competitive Trackmania, and it really gets to you after a certain point. It really does start to wear you down, and
Yeah,
that's where it's one of those skills that you can't train with practice. It's one of those trial by fire. Obviously, if you're someone like Nixotica or Charles, Noisia, Carl Jr., Neil, you've had days like this before. You're used to that. But for a lot of these players, it's not something they do all that often, or maybe aren't given the most time to actually do. So it's another part of just competitive Trackmania is the stamina. Can
yeah.
you can you make it stick? Can you hold on long enough to get through the next round? That's the big question.
Yeah, I mean, especially because we were talking about time zones, from our perspective, we're up in New England here, your caster fellas are, but
Yep.
who's to say like where these players are from? We're gonna be going all the way through dinner,
Yeah.
basically, regardless. So
Yeah. I
hopefully
mean,
there'll be a little
Noisia's
bit of time.
from Uruguay, right?
Argentina.
Argentina. Oh God, I always get those mixed up. Last time I got that mixed up, I got so much flack.
Uruguay's rookie.
Just a- yeah, that's okay. That's what I'm thinking. It was rookie. I called rookie a Uruguay or
You called
Argentinian.
him, yeah. You got and everyone,
Yeah.
including him, flamed you,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Really?"
I was like, listen, I know my flags, but sometimes I don't. Leave me alone. But I mean, what time is it in Argentina right now? I don't know.
I think they're 1 or 2 hours ahead of us. I'm not 100% sure on that though, because the time zones get kind of funky.
It's the same in Buenos
Is it?
Aires. It's the
Okay.
exact. Yeah, it's the same
Okay.
time.
I think it's parts of Brazil that can
Yes,
extend to
that's what it
one,
is. Yeah,
because they extend pretty far east.
yeah. They
It
have
gets
what is
weird.
it like 3 time zones?
Something like that. I don't know, but most of the people live in like the first two. I don't think there's too many people in Western Brazil.
Yeah, I mean it's. Let's see. Chile is UTC -4, which I believe is us.
Depends on the time of year, because sometimes we're
That's true. Yeah,
-5. So
that's right. We need to fix
give or
that.
take.
We got some splits, and that's just South America and Central America, and then even here in the U.S., I think we have players that are in Mountain Standard Time, so it's 4 hours. So they're
Yeah.
doing a little better.
Yeah.
They got some extra day to play with, but we don't. We could have started it even earlier and had them start at lunch.
Yeah, it's fine. I think they wanted to avoid telling people to wake up super early just to get ready to play like all the way through lunch and possibly all the way through dinner.
Yeah, I know.
Missing one meal
Especially
is
if
not as
you go
bad.
out, especially if you go out like in the qualifier, like all right, well now what?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know. We'll deal with this. They got all the teams sorted out, all the top 16 teams. We got some banger names in here. We got the Holy Dynasty retirement home. I'm not 100% as to who is on what team. Oh, it's all on the next the
Yeah,
next page. So,
it's all over here.
so let's see. That's who Cosmo and Sully.
Yeah, yep.
Uh, what other good team names? Large three topping pizza. What is your large three topping pizza choice?
Oh God. Um, barbecue chicken,
All right, you're already off to a banger start.
pepperoni,
Keep going. All right,
probably
and
pepperoni. Ooh, that's a tough one. There's
because
a
you got
couple
barbecue
good
chicken, that's
ones.
one. You got pepperoni, that's two.
I don't know. I think this is mostly because of the barbecue chicken, but I'd say like onions goes really well with
Oh,
that.
you suck. You suck, bro. If you put red onions on my barbecue chicken, you have ruined that. I will fight anybody that says otherwise because that is gross. It is gross. I do like the McLaren 750S as the McLaren man myself. I
That's
didn't realize they were making
that's
that's
Carl and
Carl and me.
Neil. Yeah.
Top of the tables. Um the TMGMs of
TMGMs. That's
that
Wiggity
is
and cheese.
the
I love
well,
PC and flimsy chocolate.
yep.
That fits them.
Yeah, I think I would agree. Kind of how they play their game, I would say. The driving gentleman
DG.
of Nix and Charles. That one's just standard.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, we got. I mean, I do like the naming aspect of everything. I think that's always fun.
It can be. I think as we get into lobbies of just four teams, we'll be able
Yep.
to see the names actually be populated. I don't blame them for not filling out
Yeah. No,
everything
God.
in the
We've got.
qualifiers.
I like the team name for Breakless and Schnizzle. It kind of worked out in the end of Neverlast. So they weren't last.
True,
So they lived up to their name. They lived up to the hype. Well,
but
brackets are set.
yeah,
We
I
got
think
McLaren, TGT or TG or TMGMs, Bluegrass, FF Bacon. Match two is PB, Chalkit, Holy Dynasty's main roster, and then Halcyon, North Carolina, and then the Driving Gentleman, H&D, Misconfiguration, large three topping for that third match, Suicide Squad, RPG Players, Keyboard Warriors, and Air Red for that last match. Do we make predictions now, Acrinator?
ooh, I think we wait a little bit because right now there's too many predictions to really follow
Okay.
along,
Okay.
especially with match number one not really going to be observable by
Well,
us. It'll be on one of the other
nope.
streams because we're trying to avoid
Oh,
that match and on the mainstream because the server is kind of funky. Last I
that
heard,
too. That too.
so we'll have to
Well, I mean,
decide between these other
yeah,
matches which one we're gonna watch.
I think we let chat decide.
Ooh, chat. Have any strong feelings? It would have to be, one of these three matches. It can't be match one that we're just trying to avoid. But
See, we
we
gotta
got
we gotta give power to the people. Democracy.
who said
Is
this
it, I
is a
guess it's not.
this is a
That's
randomized
true.
tournament. This is a monarchy and a half.
That's the dictatorship. We love you, randomized. Please don't throw me in the gulag.
No, that's
Uh,
communism. That's different.
no, he would have one anyways. Chaos option map one. Thanks, Gert. Glad you listened to the prompt there, friend.
No, like randomized is like the server's not pausing half the time, so he's gonna be watching that like a hawk. So, so
Oh,
we're
he's probably parked in there already.
probably yeah.
Well, we will wait for the DuoCup announcement of hey, you can play the game. Hopefully should be opening up here soon. I
I'm
assume they're
not
just going
sure.
through and getting everybody kind of situated.
Yeah, well,
Um,
they are probably gonna, like we said, fill out the names for each of the teams because it makes everything a little bit easier on the back end.
yep. I think especially if Charles was reminding them to make sure the new maps are put in just in case.
Yeah, don't
Unless the
mind.
issues were sorted, as he said. We got match 4 of Suicide Squad RPG Keyboard Warriors and Air Red. All right, well,
Which one was Suicide Squad? That's Noisy and Cackney. Okay. Okay.
yeah, okay. RPG players, that is somewhere on here. Toto and Raceland.
Oh, that could be a good matchup. And then Keyboard Warriors, that's Liquid and Keyboard Abuser, all
Yep.
of the weird names. And then Air Red, obviously Helix and Lava. Certainly the underdogs in that lobby, but
Yep.
it's kind of a given.
Yep. So I think we found the match. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Ayamic. Absolute legend. That is probably going to be a really good match. That was one that I was kind of leaning towards anyways, just looking at everything, looking through the rosters and seeing who's on what team. So I'm glad it all kind of worked out in the end,
Yeah,
at least in my perspective.
certainly. So we're just gonna be chilling out. I don't think they've fully set up the server or
No.
anything yet. As I don't see anyone else in the lobby right now. I'm just gonna leave the lobby until we wait for a word from the admins that everything is set up and ready to go. So I think Legion, we can send it to a little bit of a break and give everyone a
Yeah.
chance to breathe. So don't go anywhere, chat.
Mhm.
We'll be right back in just a few short minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about to start the actual bracket portion of this event. And actually, surprisingly, staying mostly on schedule. Now, we're still waiting for some of the players to hop into the lobby. We're not fully live yet, so don't worry about that. But yeah, slowly and surely we will be getting into the match between the Suicide Squad, which is Noisy and Cackney, RPG players, which is Toto and Raceland, Keyboard Warriors, which I don't remember what their nicknames, their name changes are, but it's Liquid and Keyboard Abuser, and then Air Red, which is Lava and Helix. So a lot of names that we've seen quite a bit in these other NCSA tournaments, and yeah, I'm interested to see who's gonna take the win here. Any predictions, Legion?
I mean, if you want to go solely based off of points, I mean, Suicide Squad would be up for, I would say, the win there. They finished second overall, which is very, very good for them. RPG was in seventh, and then you had Keyboard Warriors in 10th and Air Red in 15th. I mean, the thing with these maps is we've already gotten into them. We've already seen them. We've already played them. We know what's happening. It's just the rotation's going to be different. I don't have the point spread in front of me, but just based off of that solely, I mean, you can already say that, oh, well, the second place Suicide Squad is gonna win it because of their, how consistent they were, how quick they were compared to the other teams, the lack of mistakes, I guess, that they made. If you want to get interesting, if you want to start saying, okay, well, who's going to be that second place team? Who's that going to be between RPG and Keyboard Warriors? That's where I kind of don't really know, because Keyboard, it's Liquid and Keyboard Abuser. We've seen them a lot. And then the RPG players or not RPG, excuse me. It is RPG of Toto and Raceland. I might have to give it towards the Keyboard Warriors. I feel like overall competition, they might have it like just a little bit better. I could see them going through very much to the second round. Not to be, rude, but I don't think Air Red really have a chance here. I think they have to
No.
kind of look towards the lower bracket. So between those other two teams, I would probably have to give an edge to Keyboard Warriors, just again based off of past competitive appearances and results. That's where I'm at.
Okay. I think
What about you?
hmm, I think you're right where, Air Red, unfortunately, it's just Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb. In this case,
That's
unfortunately,
insane.
you know, it's a tough uphill battle, right? Like they're
Mhm.
good players. I've seen them grind quite a lot recently, but
Yep.
this is a massive uphill battle for them. Like,
Yeah.
Noisia literally just became the first person last weekend to ever win two PATCs back to back.
Mhm.
And then Cackney was up there in the grand finals as well, and very well could have taken the championship in his own right. So like that's already a tough opponent by itself. But then Raceland, I believe, was also in the top four for
Mhm.
PATC. Toto, we know how good he is. And then when you get to Keyboard Abuser and Liquid,
Mhm.
they're a little bit of a wild card. So
Yeah.
it's hard to fully say. By the way, we have all the players in the lobby. We're just kind of waiting for everyone to be ready, and then they'll restart and whatnot. And I think they're going to be restarting in just a moment. So right now they're just driving along the track. Yep, there we
There we
go.
go.
So we can hop into
Perfect.
game. You can see the teams right there. But yeah, I think I would have to say that RPG Players is going to be the other team besides Keyboard Warriors is going to get third, is my guess. RPG Players, I would have
Okay.
to guess getting second, but I could see it getting close between those two. It really depends.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten a close look at most of these players yet. Obviously, the qualifiers only lets us see them so closely when there's what was it, 40 something players in one lobby at the same
Uh,
time.
Somewhere in there, yeah. That's also kind of another thing is the lesser amount of players kind of frees up the point splits. We're doing 4 rounds a map. It's still the same five. It is still the same five.
Yeah.
It is 180 points because of the extra player that everyone has. It'll be 10-8, 6-5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for the point spread. So we will play obviously two winners, and then those bottom two, of course, will be booted down. Um, Looking at point split, I mean, if you get first and your teammate gets second every single round, you're looking at 10 rounds. I don't believe we are doing what is it? I don't believe we're doing finalists. I think it's just to points.
No, we
I
should be
don't
doing
see.
finalists.
Okay, well, in that case, we're doing finalists. So you'd have to win 19 rounds. And I believe it's just whichever one of you gets first. I don't think it has to be necessarily the two of you
No,
after
it
a certain
is. It
point.
is. It should be. Assuming this is the same as old DuoCup, it's
Yeah,
once you
that's
hit
that's where I'm
finals.
at. That's where I'm at, is that it's the same as past Duo Cups, but we'll have to wait and see as we do get into the first round here on Coconut. Suicide Squad, RPG Players, Keyboard Warriors, and Air Red for this first one. And already Air Red is off to a bit of a rough start. Already 3.5 down on the next fastest player. Ooh, Toto there having some issue. I think he grazed the wall, so that pushes both Suicide Squad and Keyboard into a very exciting 2v2 fight right now. Cackney and Noisia sort of running side by side. They've kept the gap exactly the same, 24 milliseconds between them, and just a couple of 10, maybe a tenth now between Zake and Mayu right now as we dash through. Mayu's pulling up, though. I don't think Cackney and Noisia will make any mistakes here as we go up the hill. Mayu drops that gear, but it won't matter. It's a 1-2 for Suicide Squad and a 3-4 for Keyboard Warriors. And Raceland loses his teammate to Helix and Lava, so not the best start, but again, plenty of time to play. We just got
Yeah.
one round.
Yeah, no, I mean they got to get to the points limit, and then they got to both get through the finalist situation. So there's quite a bit more Trackmania to play. We'll probably even see Coconut again. That would be my guess. Oh, someone that
I
was
would agree.
Noisia of all people bonked the pole, so he's down in the mud right now. Fun little fact here, if you didn't notice, folks, when we were looking at the leaderboard during the qualifiers, you could see the overall points in the white on the far right. but in the parentheses you can see how much each player has contributed to their team. So you can keep that in mind as the leaderboard pops up. Someone just had to respawn there. I think that was Toto, maybe? Yeah, it was Toto. So he falls the whole way down. He's down there with Lava and Noisia, who currently are battling it out for not last, as it were.
Is that Acne?
That was Zakes.
That was... Okay. Somebody got a really weird drift out of that.
Yeah, okay, well there's Cackney. I don't know what's happening this round, but
okay,
you know.
He's in the mud. Certified mud moment.
It's free real estate and free points in this case. Everyone should be able to finish. No one's that far behind, but Cackney is certainly not going to be getting very many points, as you know, plural might be a bit too kind for what he's getting now.
Yeah, 15 points on the timeout though, so plenty of time to come in and grab points. And you can see the records right now. Flimsy during the qualifiers dropped a 54-4, so some pretty solid times. Keyboard Warriors and Suicide Squad right now tied at 25 apiece, and then RPG and Air Red are separated by just 2 at 15 and 13 respectively. This map, you wonder if maybe for RPG and for Air Red, maybe this is like their worst map. I know you and I have talked about it before, is, you know, having that worst map, you know, do you get it out of the way or do you get it at the end? And I think for some, this might be their worst map. You know, maybe write this one off and just say, all right, well, we're not going to do much here. We might as well, you know, pick it up on those other maps. I don't want to say that everyone knows each other's pace, because there are people out there who do just drop a time on the leaderboard, but then decide that, hey, I want to do this all through the editor, so I can't actually reveal my best times. And obviously, the more we play, the more we get into the competition, the more into the groove these players get, we will actually see those true times come out. But for right now, I think we'll see a more subdued bit of competition, to say the least. I don't know if subdued is really the right word to use, but we won't be seeing as many of those, I would say, crazy starts, like a Carl Jr. Neal, for example.
Yeah, probably. I mean, especially at this very first round in the bracket, I feel like a lot of these players, especially like Noisia Cackney, who they have nothing to prove at this point. I say that Cackney's trailing up the rear alongside Air Red, but you know, for the most part, they're safe. You know, they kind of know, like,
Toto.
They gotta royally screw up, much like Toto did right there. Feels like Raceland and Toto are kind of taking turns just crashing where they shouldn't. But I mean, if there's any time to shake the jitters out, I mean, this is not an elimination match, and while you don't want to get sent down into the lower bracket, again, like, it's not a huge amount of pressure. Well, that being said, though, both Zakes and Mayu are giving Noisia a run for his money, and keep in mind Noisia is the only person in this lobby with a record on the top 5 world. Noisia really pushing that outside line. He wants the time. 54.8 to close it out. That was a beautiful outside line.
That was perfect. I don't think he could have done it better if he had tried. That was an insane amount of speed, and it's so easy to drop that 4th gear on that dirt uphill. Being able to hold it requires a level of speed and precision that I think many would struggle with. And obviously here, Noisia got it done and dusted easy, but we'll move on to Lumavale for our second map. Reminder, it's 4 rounds per map, not 5. We're switching things up a little bit, but of course we will still be doing all 5 maps. So, Lumavale. This is a map, when we looked at PATC, that I believe you said was one of the easier ones, if I remember correctly.
It was certainly more normal than like Bug Spray or Epic Bacon. I felt like it was a good middle ground between the PATC map pack, and I think it is one of the more tame maps in this map pack as well. I'd say like this and the one we just came from, Coconut, are kind of like the 2 normal-ish ones.
Yep.
You know, like American Lions and Bug Spray and Epic Bacon are a little bit more sadistic in certain ways that, you know, the players might not appreciate.
No. I appreciate it as a spectator.
We don't have to play it, that's why we appreciate it. It's a great spectator sport.
I would be hard-pressed to disagree with you, but first round underway. First to 4 on Lumavale. You can see Noisia and Cackney have top times currently, a 106.7 and a 106.8, so 500 separate them. That's pretty good. especially for two teammates. So I assume this is where we will see those two players really start to open up the gap. And right now, Raceland and Toto might be able to start dealing some damage over to Keyboard Warriors, but I mean, still, first round, it's still incredibly early in this part of the bracket.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, like you said, RPG players are currently in dead last in terms of points. Actually, even they're red, getting a better coconut out of the situation. But right now, each team seems to be just kind of in their own lane. The leaderboard for the round is very well organized, shall we say. And while Raceland tries to upset there a little bit in the middle of Suicide Squad, it doesn't quite work out. We're going to see a nice and even red, then blue, then green, then yellow. So, chat, tell us if your favorite color won that round.
Everyone just start saying colors. Just any of the 4 colors that are here. Just start saying them. We need the engagement. So, well, RPG, I mean, they're still down 25 on Keyboard Warriors. When we get to 180 points, I mean, we're almost halfway. If you're Suicide Squad, you're 18 points short of that halfway marker. By the time we get back here, I am willing to bet that Suicide Squad will have already locked in their position for the next round, or at the very least, they'll be maybe a round or two from 180, maybe already starting their finalist attempt, as we see Noisia make a uncharacteristic touch there, so he'll get swallowed up by the pack. If you're RPG or you're Air Red, the likelihood that you're able to close the gap down by the time you get back here right now is uncertain. You know, Raceland and Toto are doing a fantastic job running in second and third. It's got Helix separating them from the green team. I still don't believe that RPG can pull out a second place. I think we might see them go to lower bracket. Oh, especially as Toto gets that slowdown. We've seen that slowdown so many times on that. Oh, and Helix as well. Oh, God, it's all going off here.
Yeah, a bunch of people seem to be in the mud here on Lumavale because, well, it is one of the simpler maps from the Pan American map pack. It's not necessarily easy. There's a lot of places that you can push it, and I mean, you're playing these players, you're gonna have to push it. And like you said, yeah, that little castle block coming out of the dirt section and whatnot, it's very easy to clip. You saw Toto make a mistake there. You saw Helix make a mistake there. I think the previous round you saw Noisia or Cacney make a small mistake there, although it didn't really matter for their positioning. But it's a little tricky map. Dark light skirt, I think you might be colorblind if you think those colors are on screen, but that's all right. Because we are here.
I mean, skirt seems to be a bit colorblind.
Light gray. Are you perhaps a dog?
No, they can see blue. They can see blue and yellow, I think.
You're probably right. It's been so long since.
Yeah.
But either way, you do have Raceland once again towards the top. I don't know what happened to Toto. He died somewhere in the early portions there, but Suicide School.
Oh my.
That's
all right.
That's a dance and a half. So Cacney is now down battling it out with Lava Staff, a sentence I never thought I would say. Mayu and Zakes are looking pretty good.
Nope.
I didn't get to say it. I don't think that counts as a curse.
Oh, Cacney. Ooh, what an overtake there. That was spicy. Much better exit, much better landing, too.
He got so much more speed out of that booster. I think it's because he just landed a little bit further back and it just rocketed him forward. And interestingly enough here, you see like the splits between like what each player is contributing to the team. Toto has not been having the best of situations here when you look at the overall points. You know, like Raceland is kind of putting Toto on his back right now. So, I mean, maybe there's just a situation of Toto not liking these two maps and maybe he can show up a little bit more in the next couple. But yeah, whoever coded this DuoCup plugin for randomized had a little bit of sadism, giving us the ability to see who contributes to what, because you know, the other teams, everyone else is pretty close right now.
Yeah, that's I think. Let's see, 5 points between Cacney and Noisia, 3 from Mayu and Zake, and then 3 from Lava and Helix. So, I mean, at least it gives Raceland a bit of ammunition, if you will, to be like, well, maybe if somebody puts some more points on the board. Oh God, yeah, Noisia is having some issues here, so that'll promote Raceland, Mayu, and Toto up. I think Zake's trying to get in there as well. He's right there. He's just a little too far back. Oh, and he's going to make that mistake. He's got to go for that safe route, which completely is going to flip him over, so he's got to respawn that. Helix gets a free position. Raceland fighting it out with Acme, 5,000ths of a second, and Toto getting the overtake on Noisia by 500ths of a second. So we've got some surgical gaps here from the top 4, as Mayu, Helix, Lava, and Zake have to settle for scraps. And if you're Raceland and Toto, 16 compared to 5, that's 11 points, and that gap comes down to 4 between themselves and Keyboard Warriors. But we got to move over to Epic Bacon dipped in awesome sauce. This is the original map. This is not the updated. So we'll see. We shall see if things work. If they don't, then I don't really know. I don't know what happens at that point. Do you, Acrinator?
No. I don't. I don't really have much of a clue, but we do have a brief warm-up. Don't worry about those touches. It's not live quite yet, but as you probably will notice if you wander your eyes over to the top right portion of the screen, Noisia and Cacney, unsurprisingly, have the top 2 spots. That's going to be a pattern for any of the PATC maps. They're just, they practice those quite a lot. I don't think they were on the Coconut or American Lions leaderboards as much.
I believe, I want to say Cacney was? I think it was one of them.
Yeah, at least some, but they weren't like top 2 as consistently. Because he had Flimsy, I believe, who was just dominating those leaderboards. Someone touched right off the bat. I think that was Cacney. Yeah, it was. He's going to be trailing a little ways behind Noisia towards the front. Right now we have a little Suicide Squad sandwich for the entire field, although Cacney decided that he's not quite ready to eat yet. He'd much rather take some points to feast upon, as he's passing people left and right.
Well, from up in the pack to the very back, now he's in 4th as he just about gets that overtake on Toto. So that leaves, 3rd. Oh, but he's going to be really slow. He got such an awkward line. So he goes back to 6, maybe. He's with Mayu for that spot. Oh, Toto, that's not doing his team any favors. He got an awkward transition there, but we are getting into the end. We shall see. Noisia leads it from Raceland, Zake, Cacney, and then it's on to Mayu. Zake's going to be a bit wide, so he's going to lose a point there. Although his teammate's right behind. Toto is in 6th, and then Helix jumps for 7th, or 8th, sorry, as Lava gets 7th. So
we're good.
We're good? Everything works. Thank God. All right, let's go.
We're okay now.
Not yet. Oh, 2 more points, though, taken out from the lead that Keyboard Warriors has over RPG. So 89 to 87. And while all this is happening, of course, the Suicide Squad players, 128. So another, what is that, 40, 52 to go before they hit finalist. And from there, they got to just do some winning. So yeah, we'll see what happens, because once you start taking out players from a team after they, convert their finalists to a winner, that opens up at least those top 2 points again for someone else to take. So we'll see how that changes the complexion of this. Right now, though, it's a great showing from Cacney, Noisia, Raceland. You do have Mayu trying to squeak in, and then Lava, Helix, and Zake all having problems. So Noisia, that's not doing your team any favors. Mayu says, thank you very much. I'll wait and see if anyone else drops, but right now Cacney is trying to hold off Raceland. Raceland's got a little bit more speed. Mayu has a little bit extra on Toto. Can't convert that. We are going into the finish here as Mayu's going to clip out of that round. Raceland and Toto, a 1-2. Much needed. Cacney didn't have the speed for the risky. He had to dive to safe.
Oh, no.
No, and it's a clean...
Okay.
Oh, God.
He got there. He got there.
Well, it's a clean color code. Everybody has a person somewhere, so that's great. 18 points for RPG. They were down by 2. Now they're up by 13 in one round.
Yeah. They started off the first map not in the best of situations, but they have been slowly and surely clawing their way back, and Keyboard Warriors just had the literal worst round you could have while still finishing. So 3 points versus what they had 15, 16 RPG players. So now you know, if the trend continues, they're going to be solidifying that second place position currently, although this is going to end in a finalist position. But I mean, Toto and Raceland look a lot more comfortable, so maybe it was just that first match jitters where they need to get a couple of maps under their belt before feeling more comfortable about it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that one. It's important to really get into your rhythm as
what
early
just
as humanly possible. I do not know. Something happened. The video gamed, but Noise is out of this. Cackney is just behind Mayu. Will get the overtake. Raceland's gonna clip the edge, so that's gonna cause him to go for safe. So what was looking to be a 1-3, maybe a 1-2 for RPG players is gonna be a 1-5. He really pushed it. He was right on the edge of control, and well, you saw what happened. He was just a little too over ambitious, and that unfortunately it's not going to take too many points out of the team's sails, but it is going to close the gap up a little bit.
Worth noting as well that the leaderboard at the end there, that previous round, was quite enjoyable to look at. It was a solid blue, red, green, yellow, and then blue, red, green, yellow. So, you know, good repetition. Golf clap for that teams, but I'm sure, you know, they would have liked to have more than just one person in the top 4 each. But it's okay, you got a lot more mud for this round apparently as we get into the water section. Noisia survives the water portion, but Toto, as you saw very briefly there as he flashed across the screen, loses every single bit of position he had. And well, right now, looks like Suicide Squad are maintaining in a top 3. Mayu, about half a second behind, so it's really just a two-person battle with Cackney, not too far behind, but I don't know if he'll be able to challenge Raceland as we come into the finish here. Everyone's favorite portion, you can thank Nyx for that, as actually everyone survives it rather clean and no major shakeups thus far. Toto looking to overtake, and he does not, but it was 100 separating them, and Liquid, he gets the point. Singular point, but you know, it's still a point. But
I'd like to note, Noisia was a 10th off of his PB in that round.
Oh, was he? I wasn't even looking at the times.
Yeah, 59.85, and he put a 59.99. Okay, a little more than a 10th, okay. But that's still, that is deadly.
Yeah,
especially right now. But we'll move to American Lions for this next one. None of the players, or no, sorry. Noisia, the only player in this lobby with a time on that side leaderboard of a 54.56. So we'll see if he can get close to that, maybe even improve as this goes on. Right now, it is still Suicide Squad in the lead, 166. Then RPG with 129, 106 for Keyboard Warriors, and Air Red at 6-7. So they are feeling it, but a little bit of warm-up before we get into this. I would be hard-pressed to not see Suicide Squad get finalists, or not get finalists, especially right now. I mean, four rounds, and you have a player who has a time on that leaderboard. I would say they get finalists on this round.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if that were the case. They're just good at the video game, as it turns out, and they have like, you know, almost 40 points separating them between RPG players who's in second place. So this was always a battle for second, and you know, thus far, outside of a few minor mistakes, it seems like they are doing quite strong. But I don't even know who that was.
It was Mayu.
Oh. Well, he's going to say hi to the spectators in the stands. I'm not sure what to say about that. Toto, for a while, was actually fighting off for that first place position, but it looks like that duty has now fallen over to Raceland, who is caught in between both of the Suicide Squad players. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to overtake Cackney. They want finalists. They're hungry, and they're going to get it.
God.
Just barely.
That was a beautiful setup. Cackney. Wow, I saw that and I was like, there's no way this doesn't convert. There is no way this is not a 1-2 for Suicide Squad. 18 points. That's more than they need. So now, eyes fall to them. Will they be able to get this done in a couple rounds, or will we have to be here for quite a bit longer?
Well, you know, there is the opportunity to avoid bug spray if you're Noisia and Cackney, and I'm sure they would love the opportunity to just get the hell out of Dodge and maybe, go eat dinner or something early. I'm not really sure what time they eat dinner at. It's hard to say, but right now they are certainly in a position that could potentially get first place, but Raceland and Zakes, and potentially even Helix, not too far behind. Never mind, now he is too far behind. Mayu trying to catch back up, however. I don't know what happened to Toto, he's just in the mud. But let's hop on board with Cackney for now and see if he or his teammate can validate their finalists. No. It's all up to Noisia if they want to get at least something out of this round.
Yep, it's two. You see the two fin there in the parentheses up top. That means they need the 2 players to finish in first, and Noisia will be the first one to do it for his team. So that does leave Cackney by himself. He has to get out there and get that first round or that first place finish. So Suicide Squad can put themselves through to the next round. We do see 150 for the RPG players and 120 for keyboard warriors. So that green team has to start getting things going here. But eyes to Cackney for this round. He's been running up front. He had an uncharacteristic mistake. Those balance beam sections really do be catching people out on more often than not, it feels like, especially at this level of competition.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to how hard you have to send it. I mean, we've said it before, like the level of competition and these lobbies can be quite aggressive. In some of the other lobbies, we have some of the best players that NCSA has to offer, some of the best players that the world has to offer, literally. So, I mean, you really got to send it. Right now, Mayu's doing just that. If anyone can deny Cackney, it's going to be him, but Cackney's taking a very aggressive line. He should get more exit speed out of it. And I'm not sure if Keyboard Abuser is going to be able to overtake now. Suicide Squad might be 2 rounds in and out, nice and easy. Great attempt there from Keyboard, aka Mayu, but there's only so much you can do when he's that hungry.
Yep. Cackney is, he's using the food as motivation. Oh, and Helix is not going to get that finish. That was rough. I switched to him right as he whacked his face off the finish. So, Suicide Squad, they're done. They're validated. They're through to the next round. And now everything goes back to these 3 teams. So, those bottom point values are now off the table. We are back to, you would say, full strength. So, 29 points between RPG and Keyboard Warriors. Air Red, they exist.
They are there.
They're there, correct.
They're having a good time, hopefully, but that's about as much as you could say. They're very likely going to get the 4th place here. We are playing to 3rd place due to seating in the lower bracket as well, so we will get to see everyone get a position.
Oh! Raceland, sorry.
Yeah, speaking of position.
Well, the thing is, I was gonna say is that the RPG players, the best they can do is 78. If they get first and second, is everybody's having problems. So Mayu's got nothing but air between himself and the finish and Helix. So this will be a much-needed 10 points if he can stitch it together. Yes, he does. Helix goes safe, but he'll still make the points stick. Toto, Zake, Lava, and then Raceland finally make it to the finish line. If you're Keyboard Warriors, that 10 points honestly is pretty good. You come out of it with 15, your opponents come out of it with 9. Yeah, that's good. We at 169, 146, and 95 as we finish this, and we will head over to everybody's favorite map of all time, none other than Bug Spray. Is this maybe the turning point, if you will, for our friends over at Keyboard, or do you think RPG doesn't really have much to worry about?
Well, they're definitely going to get finalists rather fast. All they need to do is make sure that they finish, because they're 11 points away from it. They can get dead last for a couple rounds and still get finalists probably at the same time as Keyboard Warriors, but odds are, they're not going to utterly die. Ignore that. This is warm-up. You get it out of the way now, not in rounds.
No.
As Keyboard is... it doesn't really seem like anyone's driving in warm-up. Where is everyone? Okay, well, a few of them are. But, yeah, I mean, overall, I think they're going to get finalists. They're probably going to have a couple of rounds to stabilize. But how they do once they're in finalist is a completely different question. Right, because then the pressure is on, and we know at the very least that Keyboard Warriors can send it quite hard. Keyboard Abuser, aka Mayu, was taking it to Cackney right up until the very end, so there is the opportunity here to allow RPG players to, get that 180 and just start denying them.
Yep, I mean, that's going to be tricky, though, because, I mean, Toto's out of it right now. You've got Raceland up in front, which is 10 points, and as long as that sticks and they get 11, oh my god, Mayu, there it is, there's the touch. Well, if Raceland can stay here, as long as Toto reaches the finish line, they will be at 180, which means it will be finalist time. You wonder how that's going to affect Toto, because right now, Toto has really been struggling with this. This has not been his I guess, stage of the tournament. He's really been struggling. A lot of the mistakes have come out. You talked about the point split right now. He's only taking home 67 points compared to 112 or 102 for Raceland, about to be 112. So that should be the finalist locked in, and it will be as Toto comes across to make it 15 for his squad. So on to finalists they go. I predict Raceland will probably get it done in this first round. And just sit back and relax and let his teammate deal with the rest. Now, here's the question. With how, not to be disrespectful, but with how inconsistent Toto has been, you wonder if that gives the keyboard warriors all the momentum they need to come back and get themselves into that next round. Because the thing you have to, oh, there's already the touch from Toto. The thing you have to keep in mind is that when you're on finalists, you're not getting any points unless you're in first. And if you are consistently not in first, which, only need to do it once, everybody else who isn't on finalists will be able to get points. And if you're someone like Toto, maybe you're not getting first places. Maybe you're not getting those 10 points, but you can see everyone else ahead of you not making those mistakes. But, okay.
That changes
all right,
things.
So this yep, I'm actually saying, all right, my thoughts are done. Acrinator, what do you got?
So I was going to go off on a tangent and tell a story from the first DuoCup, but I don't think it really matters because briefly before that crash from Raceland, I was going to say there is strategy here where Raceland could just DNF and allow Toto to get the finish to, make it easier. But now the universe just kind of handed them that anyways. Raceland didn't have to DNF or whatever. He was already not going to finish. So this is the best possible scenario for RPG players where everyone just had an XDD round, Toto kept it clean, and now he's validated, right? So now Raceland, we know he's far and away the fastest player in the lobby remaining. It's looking dicey for Keyboard Warriors. This is like a nightmare scenario because they were staring down the barrel of potentially upsetting into the upper bracket, and now they just have to send it because you have someone as terrifying as Raceland and
they're both gone!
No!
Right at the start! And it's,
the pressure.
Not to downplay Lava, but he's been pulling how many points? It's Raceland, and he's making more mistakes. I think that's it. I think Mayu and Zeke, they knew what was up, they knew what was happening, and they had to push, and Raceland was just driving his regular line. So unless, of course, something happens in the end, and if Lava manages to make it through the rest of this course with no errors. We are getting onto a balance beam section, though, so maybe Raceland clips. It doesn't look like it, but
no.
Unless that bug slide goes wrong, which it really hasn't, I think we might be seeing RPG in the next round. So we jump in. Raceland's going to take it neat on the inside, and there it is. The unintentional strategy, perhaps?
I think that previous round really just set up RPG players perfectly, because otherwise, we were reasonably worried that, okay, is Toto going to be capable of comfortably getting that first place, but then everyone just makes a mistake around him. I guess we are only playing to top two or just taking the points or whatnot. So that is going to be that for that match, as it's were to happen, so to speak. And we're not gonna, I don't think we're gonna hop into another game this round because every other match is being covered by a different stream. So yeah, let's before we go to a break, let's it looks like actually our match might have been the first one to finish based on
I'm seeing Team PV with a first already to their name, and McLaren 750 already with a first. That's to be expected. So RPG players, they're gonna go into the 2.1 match, so match 1, and Suicide Squad goes to match 2, we will see where everybody else ends up. The match 3 of Driving Gentleman, H&D, misconfiguration, and large 3 topping, those players, nobody has been declared a winner just yet. So like you said, I think someone else is covering that. So I might
Yeah.
pop in and let's see, randomize with clicks. It might Neil. Oh no, Neil's doing a POV stream.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I don't know. I mean, oh, they're covering 2 right now. I can see it. So they're covering 2 matches at the same time.
Actually, it looks like
Interesting.
match 2 just finished up. A bit of an upset there with Halcyon NC beating out HD Retirement Home, but they're both going to the lower bracket anyways, so only a
Yeah.
minor upset.
Oh yeah. Yep. Chocolate and PB are through. So who goes where?
Um,
Oh, I see. I'm looking at it right now. So Chalkit
yeah,
will go into the match 1 for the next round. PB will go to match 2, so they'll be with Suicide Squad. It looks like McLaren will go to that first round. So all that's remaining is first from 1.3. So it could be Driving Gentleman, it could be H&D, misconfiguration, large 3 topping. And then we have what? Keyboard Warriors, Air Red, Halcyon, North Carolina, and Holy Dynasty's main roster going down into losers bracket. Huh. This is going to get interesting. And then we still
yeah,
have day 2.
yeah. Well, that's the day 2 is going to be just the essentially last 4,
Yeah.
um, give or take. But yeah, I think the other matches we're still waiting on the finales of that, and Alex and
Mhm.
Randomize should be covering those on their stream, so we're not going to hop around too much because we do have coverage.
No.
So I think for now we're just going to send it to a short break. um, yeah, I think we'll do that. Take a
I
brief
like that
moment
idea.
to collect our thoughts as we head over into the next round in just a few short moments. So if you want to catch the other matches, folks, run over to Randomizes or Alex's personal streams, and they'll be giving you the down low on that. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about ready to start the second round of the upper bracket. Again, we're going to be avoiding match number 1, so unfortunately Carl Jr. and Neil are in that match, but server number 1 is just unstable, so we're going to leave that to randomize probably to handle that, because he was freaking out about that before the actual day started. The match,
understandable.
He freaks out about just about everything besides at this point the broadcast, because we're chill, we're doing good. But let's hop over to the master sheet. We can see this is match number 1. We're not going to be following that because that's the unstable server. Instead, we're going to be on team PB. Suicide Squad, who we just saw the TMGMs in H and D. And actually, if we go in-game, we can see exactly what those players are. I think we're just waiting on someone.
Somebody's on the wrong team.
Oh, I think Wiggity is was just getting settled as he is on green team, but we need to actually get it all started.
There we go.
And then we're gonna reset, probably.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna let this stand.
No.
Not at all. I mean, if you want to, you can. I just maybe we don't.
Yeah, right. I'm sure they would love to keep this Cheese and Wiggity, but I don't think that will be the case. But that's fine. But now, speaking of this match, we're getting down to the wire in terms of how competitive these matches are going to be, because these teams are fighting for the easy way into tomorrow, right? They just got to win this match, and then they got to win a 1v1, and then they're in for tomorrow. The rest have to go down to the lower bracket and fight for one of those 4 spots. I don't know what Cheese's horn is, but we're just not going to talk about it.
No. What are you talking about? There's nothing. What do you mean? Absolutely nothing at all. But it looks like everybody's getting into the right team. Hope and Dummy on H&D, Wiggity and Cheese on TMGM, PB for Fegley and Barry, and then Cackney and Noisia for that Suicide Squad. This is, if we go off of the previous match, for Suicide Squad, that was kind of an open shut type of match, if that makes any sense. They kind of went in, they did their thing, they left. And then we weren't checking on the other matches, sadly, but you wonder, especially with the seating placements, how does that affect the outcome? Do we see Suicide Squad maybe having an easier time with this? Right now they are what were they? They're the 2nd seeded team, and then Team PB is 4th, H&D is 6th. And then TM and GM is A. So we're sticking with the even numbers, which is fantastic. Compared to what they had before, which was, 7th? 7th, 10th, and 15th seeded teams. Do we see Team PB, or not Team PB, excuse me. Do we see Suicide Squad walking away with this one as easily as they did before? Or do we see a bit of a change up? Do we see maybe Team PB coming in here and throwing a wrench in the works?
I think the competition is definitely higher, but I still feel like Suicide Squad walks away with that first place. It's Noisia and Cackney. Of late, they have been 2 of the most consistently high-level players. I say that and they both clip, but it's fine. It's fine, because when you look at the other people in the lobby, I'd say the one person who can really bring it to them is probably going to be Fegley. Maybe Dummy on a good run, but currently he's almost 6.5 seconds behind, so maybe not the best of examples there. But Cackney, despite, much smaller clip than Noisia, admittedly, he's still up there, a little ways behind Wiggity and Fegley. And that was pretty gnarly. So, yeah, Cheese is going to be overtaking there for that 3rd place, fighting with Hope, looking to make up for Dummy's crash earlier in the round. But I think Cheese is going to maintain that 3rd place, and Hope will have to settle for 4th. Dummy will have to settle just for the 1 point. At least he got past the finish line.
Yeah, I saw there's another overtake there on Cackney. So not the start for Suicide Squad, not what they're used to, as it is the TMGMs that do pick apart that first place, and H&D coming out of that one worse for wear. It is 4 rounds per map. All 5 maps are being played. We're starting here on Lumavale, which means there is plenty of time, as Cackney almost goes into the wall there. Not what you want, trying to overcompensate for last round's shortcomings. And that does put him into last, but still less than 3/10 off of the front-running Noisia, his teammate. So he's going to start slowly reeling everybody in. He's got a couple overtakes on Wiggity and Hope. He's eyeing up Dummy, maybe Cheese, as Noisia gets overtaken by Fegley through that plastic ride. That will promote Noisia up into first. Cackney's fighting it out with Dummy here for 3rd. Fegley gets an awkward line, so that'll bring him back into Dummy's arms. And as we come up through the last set of checkpoints, Noisia holding on to that advantage for Suicide Squad. Cackney's trying to find a way around Fegley. It's a very neat line there for for the PB player. But as we go through that last checkpoint, we are going to be dipping down. I think Cackney's got a little bit more speed. How about that for a finish? Cackney going from last to second, secures 18 points for his squad. Dummy and Fegley got to settle for third and fourth. Cheese, Hope, Wiggity, Berry, everything from there. But that should give Suicide Squad the lead. Yes, it will. That was a great recovery drive from Cackney.
Incredible play there. Just every single checkpoint. It felt like he was gaining a couple hundredths at a time, really. And I mean, hey, both of those players on Suicide Squad are 1 and 2 in the world record case, and the only other person in the lobby even on the top 5 leaderboard is Fegley right now. So, again, that's part of the reason why I think Fegley's the only person who can really bring it to these players. Dummy has some opportunities too. You know, he's performed rather well in some recent tournaments, less well in other recent tournaments. So it's really just, you know, how hard he's sending it and how much he's getting away with it. And I mean, speaking of Fegley right now, once again, it feels like this is a common occurrence where it's Fegley with one of the Suicide Squad members, but that's a pretty gnarly, what was that, a gear and a clip and a half, and he falls down. So it's going to be Noisia and Cackney basically all alone up in that first and second place position. Dummy looking to overtake Cheese, but right now holding strong as the split player. Dummy looking for more speed, but I don't think he's really going to find it. And that's just going to be another clean 18 points for Suicide Squad. You know, they had a rough first round, but they're already in first place, and that's before the points calculation for this.
Well, see, that's why you set the expectations low on that first round. It's like, oh, the number 2 team doesn't know what they're doing, and then you turn around and you give them a mean little right hook. So, I mean, they got to keep this up, though. They're almost at 60 points. This has been probably the best start they've had. I believe the last match didn't go as planned, but that's all right. But outside of that, I mean, 5 points separates second from third. So once Suicide Squad decides to skip town, we should be seeing those 3 battle it out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see quad finalists with at least one player from 2 teams being validated. But right now, oh, there goes Barry. Barry was running up great after his teammate Fegley made a mistake, but just got that no drift, so crashes the wall. And Cackney's down far away from his teammate. So right now it's Noisia by himself. Coming under fire, though, from Dummy. Hope and Cheese also got a pretty good run there out of the corner. Although next on the uphill doesn't go well for either of them. So Noisia starting to come back in on Dummy. Got to make sure you get that transfer onto that pillar right, because we have seen some landing bugs there. But it looks like Dummy's going to get some 10-pointers for his team. That's going to be critical, especially to hopefully get back into maybe second place. I don't think... I mean, 14 points in that round compared to, what is it, 9 and 7. So that'll bring him in. It should give him the lead, actually, or second place. Oh, tied with the really? TMGMs.
That's funny. And just in time to get off of Lumavale and over to whatever the second map is.
Northern Lions, or American Lions, excuse me.
Northern Lions, isn't that a...
Is that, I mean, is American Lions better or worse than Lumavale?
Yes.
All right, great answer.
It really just depends. I mean, you can send it really hard on this map, and we know who likes to send it. But let's see if he can find maybe a little bit more success than he did here on the qualifiers, because if memory serves, he had a couple nasty crashes. Don't worry about that. This is still warm-up. But in particular, I'm looking at Barry and Fegley because they started off decently strong. I think mostly due to Fegley performing pretty well. I mean, yeah, the points there, the individual points in the parentheses kind of tells the story. You know, Fegley had some really good rounds. Barry seemed to not like Lumavale too much. Barry, someone who we know is really good in the region, but he just doesn't play a ton, so we don't get to see how well he performs in a lot of these maps. And I mean, like DuoCup, I think is the only tournament he's played recently, at least in terms of the NCSA circuit. So right now, not the best of situations, but he's hanging in there, if not, you know, a little ways behind the pack. Oh, Fegley, that's not the line.
Yep, both Cackney and Fegley. Oh, Wiggity? Was that Wiggity that just
I think
pieced
so.
out? I believe it was.
Yep,
So
yep.
he's out of that round. Oh, Cheese as well was fighting, and he clips the inside. So Noisia, once again, finds himself running in front. I mean, I'm sounding like a broken record at this point, my God. And you got Dummy and Hope, Barry as well. I don't think there's going to be any overtakes. I think Barry's got a little bit more speed.
Oh,
Oh, but
what
it's
happened to
not
Hope?
going to be Hope. Hope did not have the speed, and he's going to just not get the height. So it was looking like a fourth. Thankfully, it didn't fall too far down. Cackney go kind of a bone thrown his way will grab fourth position. So it'll be, what is that, 15 for top for that one?
Yep. And I've noticed while it feels like there's been a lot of mistakes in the last like map and a half, really, it feels like every single time someone from Suicide Squad is up towards the front, and then more recently, either Hope or Dummy has been taking a lot of second places when everyone else is making mistakes. So while it's not the cleanest across the board for this match, I think part of that was to show like how hard these players are pushing each other because they're not given anything for free right up
Mm-hmm.
until they crash terribly. But up until that point, they're making everyone work for it. And actually, I say that, and this seems to be one of the cleanest rounds we've had so far. The pack is relatively intact, and even with some minor mistakes from Hope there, you do still have
Oh,
Wiggity
and Wiggity.
catches the side, but Noisy and Cat,
And Fegley.
the front runners are doing good. And now they kept it together for like more than half the track. I'm proud of them. Even if they're a little bit in
Yeah,
the
I
mud.
guess.
It's better than last round. We just don't
You
talk
know,
about how low the bar is.
I noticed that you seem to do a lot more caster cursing than I do. I mean, PHCC is anything to go off of, so
And I only guessed
you
that
know.
for one day.
Yeah, I know, and you cursed like half the field. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Hey, avoiding the caster curse is another skill these players have to master. I'm helping them.
Well, thankfully, somebody, Cackney, doesn't even need it because he's already made that mistake. Surely no one else will mess up. I bet if I say it, I bet if everybody else in this pack right now will have a clean round, no falling off, no crashes, nothing of the sort. And right now that's what's happening. I mean, there's a couple of players kind of falling off the pace a little bit. That's just more to practice and how they take that line, but only half a second roughly will separate first from fifth or seventh.
Jeez.
And there it is. There's the first one. We'll see if anybody else follows suit. Noisia. All right. Well, that leaves Fegley. He's been gunning for those first places, and he's just been snubbed every single time. So this should be good for him. He won't miss the risky finish. Thankfully, God, he didn't. Wiggity messed up. He almost did. All right. So you are full on curse. I am kind of cursed, but also, tempting fate a little bit. But it's a round to forget for Suicide Squad. It's a fantastic round for H&D. 14 points will extend their lead over third place PMGMs, who only have a point between themselves and PB. But much to the surprise of nobody, it is Suicide Squad on top with a 93.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really bet against them at this point. Again, they're two of the top players in like the recent events, as well as Noisia being, I'd say, a little bit longer reigning now. Cackney only recently deciding he was actually going to train for these events, and you can see the difference. The proof is in the pudding. And speaking of proof is in the pudding, Dummy has also been improving quite a lot lately and is bringing it to Cackney and Noisia. When the kid sends it, he's fast. It's just that, sometimes he's a little too fast for his own good and he crashes. But thus far, he's keeping it clean. Wiggity also up in the fray, and I think that was Noisia who clipped the outside wall, so he's going to be falling at least a little ways behind.
Oh, this is going to be fantastic.
Looking to overtake. He might have more speed. No, he doesn't, because Cackney takes it too far to the right and will maintain his lead just barely.
That was very smart play there from Cackney, because the overlap was there. They were practically on top of each other. Cackney, though, recognizes, the angle that the Grisky finish is compared to the road. It was the play to go to the right. And I think that's all he needed. I mean, he probably could have taken it normally, but it would have been a lot closer, and he wants to minimize the likelihood of being sniped at the end. So it's a smart move. It's a very risky move, to be honest, to do something like that. But it worked out well. He got the 10 points for his team. He pushed his Suicide Squad into those triple digits at 106, H&D at 63, and then the TMGMs have put a couple points on Team PB, 63 to 60. Once Suicide Squad is done here, and I do say once, not if, but when and once they're done, looking at H&D and TMGM and PB, do we see H&D start to run away with it? Do you think that the TMGMs and Team PB can benefit from those, I guess, extra points, if you will, to maybe close that gap up, or do you think it's going to stay the way it is? Because right now it's looking like H&D, barring mistakes from Dummy. All right, I was going to say barring mistakes from both of them. Oh, both of them. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, you think Bug Spray is going to turn it around and put H&D into the fight with TMGMs and PB?
Oh god, that's hard to say, right? I think it's going to come down to pace, because, I mean, keep in mind, you got to get these teams into finalists, which I doubt we're going to be seeing in this map. I don't think it's theoretically possible,
it's not.
But in terms of overall points and, like, the fight, it depends on how much they crash, honestly. And speaking of that, Noisia makes a mistake there. I wasn't even pointing him out or following along with Fegley. This is everyone else's fault but mine this time. But Fegley's just kind of on his own. Cackney and Noisia trying to catch up, but they're like a good quarter second behind, and it's really just all on Fegley. Cackney didn't hit the reset and actually gives up a position to Wiggity. I don't think he really cares about the position to Noisia, or maybe he does. You never know about the ego of these players, but Barry should be able to finish. Hope is gonna make the finish. Not really a buzzer beater, thankfully. You don't want to see any DNFs if you can avoid it, but yeah, I don't know. I think if we keep seeing rounds like that, then yeah, H&T's going to be in a little bit of trouble fighting for that second place spot, but that's one round, literally the first round of this map. If they stabilize, and I know Dummy at the very least is very comfortable on this map. He knows how to send it, unfortunately doesn't know when to send it sometimes. So that's kind of the question here. Otherwise, I think Suicide Squad is just going to be running away with a lot of free points here, as per usual.
Yeah, and I mean, the gap came down quite a lot. They had something comfortable, but now they're down 14 points to third, so, and 15 to fourth place. So maybe that first round was just a fluke. Right now they're running up with Cackney and Noisia. Although Hope's fallen off the pace a little bit. Dummy goes wide, so he will have to settle into, what is that going to be, 6th position? As we head through into the first, or another one of the bug slides here, as Hope doesn't get that exit well, so he's going to fall down. So it's going to be more points lost for H&D. Noisia and Cackney, though. Cackney holding the record here, a 104.14, and then a 104.24 as Wiggity gets the bobsleigh transfer incorrectly. We'll see if Cackney has the point, or the speed, rather. Ooh, Noisia, that was close. He made it through, barely. But he'll grab those 10. His teammate will grab 8. Cheese, Barry, Hope, Fegley, Dummy, and Wiggity having to settle for that risk, or that safe finish, rather. So not the round for them. 18 points goes over to Suicide Squad. We'll have 2 more rounds on this map. It'll put them up to 37 or 137 here. H&D, it's starting to close up again. It's 7 points now. PB's caught up. PB's also at 80.
Yeah, they've been kind of trading blows left and right, and while they were semi-close in the beginning, now they're literally neck and neck. So I mean, right now you are kind of fighting for third, but also if you're H&D, like, you need someone to be in probably top 3 territory just to stem the bleeding a little bit, and right now that seems to be Dummy, who has the pace but not necessarily the consistency. You know, it feels like he's just sending it a little bit too hard. And Cheese, that is technically not the line. But we're going to hop on board with Barry to check the rest of the pack. He's just a little ways behind. And Dummy, speaking of falling behind, loses a bit of speed, gets a huge amount of exit speed out of that bug slide, though, and will maintain at least 3rd place for now. But Cackney is also in the fray, looking to overtake literally everyone.
Oh no. The only
weird
thing he's overtaking
situation.
is the edge.
Oh, everyone's getting slowdowns, and actually, this
Oh.
is exactly what Team PB wanted. They're both gonna get the risky, nice and
Yes,
clean,
sir.
and hope I might finish.
Eight.
Maybe.
Hope will finish. Hope will finish.
Just
He's
go
getting the
safe.
risky right here.
Um,
He's got time. He's got time. He's
get
good.
the finish. There you go. Take the point. But that's
All right.
that's not good. Because now Team PB is in.
They're going to be tied.
Is
They're
in
going to be tied at
prime real
98.
estate. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that real estate is juicy.
It's not free, but it's discounted for sure.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah. So if you're dummy and hope, you might be sweating a little bit now.
Yeah, especially because that gap you had going into this map was massive. And speaking of massive, two massive mistakes there. That was Noisia and I believe Barry. Yes, it was. So they'll fall down. Dummy and Fegley and Hope. If you're Dummy and Hope, this is the round you need. You absolutely need these points to get back into the driver's seat of second place. Really, oh, Hope. That was a very awkward gear up from him. So that'll lose him a little bit of time. Fegley and Cheese will be more than happy to take advantage of that. Cackney holding off Dummy here as we go into this bug slide. Dummy takes it very inside. It almost goes wrong for him, and he's somehow holding that car together. I don't know how he got out of that one in one piece. But Hope's starting to lose some time as I saw Wiggity just poke into frame. Fegley clips, so he's going to fall down. It will be Cackney, Dummy, Cheese. If you're Hope, you got to hold this. This would be great points for you guys. But he's not going to get it. He is going to have to settle for that safe finish. He tries the risky, but it doesn't work. Cackney, though, will take that first place. It's Dummy, Cheese, Fegley, Wiggity, Hope.
Please?
But he's messing up. Barry comes through.
No.
Noisia comes through. Oh my goodness. Hope would have been better off just going for the risk or the safe finish. He didn't have the speed to make the jump. That was a terrible decision from him.
It wasn't just one terrible decision. It was like three because he tried it a couple of times, and it's like, God, you just gotta swallow your pride. You're not gonna make it into the risky, and I didn't actually catch the points at the end there. We'll get it right as the map
106
loads.
to 107 H&D. That easily could have been, I don't know, like 113 to 105 or something like that. It could have been such a bigger gap, but because of what Hope was doing, it's just not what he was supposed to do, and you can see how that's kind of affected him. He's kind of taken a moment to himself, really.
Yeah, well, you got 30 seconds. Shake it off, man, because the mental game is just a big part of, just as big a part as the driving game, and thankfully for them, we're going over to Coconut. That's a lot more chill of a map than Bug Spray, I can say that with confidence. So, I mean, like, now, while it is going to be difficult to keep up with just, like, the raw pace, at the very least, it's just driving. There's nothing too crazy other than, like, how hard you want to send it on the outside dirt. It's less about surviving and more just, like, go fast. And maybe that's the reset they need.
Yeah, I mean, there's the transfer from the sausage road, I believe it is, to the grass. We have seen a lot of rounds get decided by that. That dirt uphill, you talked about the outside, that's another spot, easily losing a gear, especially if you get to a point where you're maybe separated from the other guys by a tenth, 2/10, let's say. That gear down is enough, and especially on a steep uphill like that, there's enough time loss to make it a huge issue. But it's been a great round for everybody. Outside of Dummy had a mistake early on. Hope, and there goes Wiggity and Barry. So they're out of the equation for this one. It's Noisia, Cackney, Cheese, Fegley separated less than a tenth of a second. We are going to hit this uphill. Cheese will get there first. There will be a touch there from Cackney. He tried to come back into it, but just on enough. He'll lose that position to Hope. Fegley in third, but Cheese getting the round for his team. And I got chat open. He can't believe it. That was an incredible round, though. That'll help him and his teammate of Wiggity. That's 11. This is... Oh my god. And still H&D and PB are separated by 1.
That was a great round from both Fegley and Hope, keeping it together. Dummy had a slightly better round than Barry, but ultimately it ended up in still just a 1-point separation. I would dare to say that TMGMs are gaining just slightly. So, I mean, Cheese and Wiggity aren't going to be making it easy. And in the meantime, Suicide Squad, well, technically they're not guaranteed to get finalists this round, but they're probably going to get it. They just need to not get a little bit too much into the tomfoolery, but I mean, like, one of them needs to get first place. Cackney needs to get first place as Noisia is doing, I don't know, funny things. Oh, Cackney's definitely risking it. He wants that 10 points, but even second place would do. Technically, I think even third place would do if Noisia could get out of last, but I don't think that's going to be happening. Looking at the splits,
it doesn't
all
matter.
Eyes on Cackney. He's going to get the 10 points they need, so Noisia can just take it easy. You know, I'm sure Cackney's giving him some grief about, I'm carrying this, you need to pick up the pace, although Noisia does have more points, but
yeah. It's going to say it's got actually, an 8-point advantage. Well, now it's going to be a 1-point advantage for Cackney because he got 10. So that's
we can't see it
we're
anymore.
not going to be able to see it, but that does. He knows it's there. That's great.
It's in the soul of their play. He knows that he's carrying deep down.
Yeah, he's like, listen, as long as I have more points before we hit finalists, then I carried. So.
Okay, well.
We got a lot of mistakes. Yeah. We got Cackney who's down in the mud. We had Wiggity as well. So. The two of them are out. This is all on Noisia right now. I know you talked about it in that last match we watched, where there is some strategy to this. You know, if you're running 1-2 and you have the slower guy behind you, it might be more beneficial for you to DNF and take that position. But right now, there's not really a choice. Noisia has to push it, and he is. That line paid off perfectly for him. He is ahead of Fegley. It's only 0.06 of a second. He's going to go for that tighter inside line. That will push him up. Fegley, though, is coming back. He's got a bit more speed. Noisia, what was that? He got a little bit of air, and I think Fegley's going to just hold on. Yes, he will. By the skin of his teeth. Noisia was on for first place. He's got to go for second, though. So first attempt at finalist does not go his way. That is A-okay because the gap they have to second place at this point in time is 54 points, 54 points. But as we go through, it comes down, but still plenty of time. And I believe one more round here on Coconut. So maybe this is the round they get at least one of them through?
Possibly, but like I said before, Fegley and Dummy are the two people that I would expect to at least have the pace to deny. Cackney and Noisia, I didn't mention him, but he's he's saying hi to the scaffolding, I guess. Barry saying hi to the edge of the plastic in the wrong kind of way. Fegley, once again.
Oh, who was that? That just
up towards that was
Hope?
No, that wasn't Cackney. Yeah, that was Hope. But right now, worth noting that while we are, most eyes on Suicide Squad being in that finalist position, Fegley and Barry had a pretty good round during that denial. So that put them a couple points ahead of H&D, and obviously the main objective right now is just to prevent Cackney and Noisia from finishing first. Fegley getting first and denying by extension is also putting them pretty far ahead of H&D as this goes on.
Yeah, and a 54-6 coming out from Fegley. That's a great round. That puts him second on that side leaderboard.
Yeah, that's second
that
world.
Was just casual second world. But this is, that was a great, and she's got a position there as well.
0.8.
But I know that's insane.
Just in time to leave the map, so he can't look anymore.
Hey, listen, you got it. That's all that matters. So we are on Epic Bacon. This is the updated version, thankfully.
Yeah.
So things are working, but right now it is still Suicide Squad that have yet to convert. They did not as quickly as they did it last time. Of course, the competition was a bit more, I would say, split up compared to where we are now with how this is the 2, 4, 6, and 8 seeded teams. So
worth noting as well, if you look at the overall points, TMGMs have caught up quite a bit.
They have, yeah. They were down in the dumps a little bit. They've pulled it back. PB right now, we were looking at them and being like, oh, well, they're not really a threat. They're kind of just on their own. But now they're in second place. They only got 31 points that they need to get. So at least would be, 2 rounds to get into finalists. Of course, that's assuming they get the first and second all of those times. So we will unfortunately probably not see the... No, I'm not. I thought about it. I realized it was a terrible idea, but...
What was that?
That was Noisia. That was Noisia who didn't get the transfer. So Cackney's up by himself. He's got Hope, Dummy, and Barry there to keep him company. Pretty much the entire lobby outside of teammate. And Cackney makes the mistake. That's the round over for Suicide Squad. They can't do anything. So now we move the camera to different drivers. Hope makes a grazing touch to the wall. That puts him down. Wiggity, Barry, and Cheese are running 1, 2, and 3. And as I say that, Dummy gets the overtake for third position. Wiggity and Barry battling it out, separated by less than a tenth of a second, a little bit more than a tenth as we start getting into the end. Wiggity, it's onto the no brakes, onto the transfers. Barry's ahead, but it is going to be an early drop for Wiggity, who will put a 1:06 on the board. That was looking like it could have been Barry's round. Wiggity released there in the end, but just got that earlier landing, and that put him through into that first place for him in TMGM. That's huge. That's massive. 16 points.
Yeah.
The opponent's getting 9. Now they're only back by 11.
This is a tight battle for second place, and I think everyone is sweating now, including Suicide Squad, because the field, while Suicide Squad got finalists very early on, you still have to close out that finalist, and now I can actually tell the story that I tried to last time, where in the very first DuoCup, we had a situation of Lingo and Zetins who got finalists first in the grand finals by like a couple of rounds. Lingo closes it out immediately. But then they just kept getting denied and denied and denied, and Zetins just couldn't get that first place. And it's something that we were considering being a problem earlier, but they had always gotten like first place the whole time. And eventually, you know, you had, I think it was Nats and Charles who ended up winning that very first DuoCup. And I believe Lingo and Zetins got fourth place. It might have been third place, but I remember that was such a big deal because Zetins was on finalists and just couldn't close it out for the longest time. But now, I don't think it's going to be quite an issue here with Noisia being far ahead of everyone else. And the ping-pongs a little bit there, but he does manage to close it out. And at the very least, get one of the finalists off the board before someone else has the red number on the back of their car.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I don't know if we'll see that. I think maybe these maps don't really suit Noisia and Cackney too well. They've made some pretty massive blunders, but they've stuck with it. One of them's gone through. That's Noisia. He can take a break. It all falls to his American teammate, Cackney. 169 points for PB and 156 for both TMGM and H&D. So those two teams are starting off. Someone's starting off on the wrong foot. That was Hope. So, or no, I guess I just didn't. Okay, never mind. Everybody's here? Okay, I'm tripping.
I just noticed, this is completely unrelated to this match, but Carl Jr. has the world record. He had to have done that in rounds.
Oh yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that Cackney and Noisia had world record and second world record on this map coming into today.
Past tense.
Yes, had.
Past tense.
So everyone, as far as I'm aware, would have had to PB and then Carl just doing Carl things. But anyways, coming on to this match, Barry desperately trying to avoid what feels like the inevitable as Cackney loses a little bit of speed there, but Barry goes very high. He does have a little bit more speed, but I don't think he's going to be able to overtake as Cackney's clean with it, and that is going to be...
There it is.
Well, better late than never, because everyone else is getting dangerously close to finalists in their own right.
Yep, PB will get finalists. They got exactly 11 points, which is what they needed.
Oh, no.
9 points goes to TMGM, and I believe 8 points goes to H&D. So, Suicide Squad goes through. Team PB is on finalists, and they do it the round after, so... We'll have one more round here of Epic Bacon, and then I don't know what the next map will be going to, but that'll be interesting to see. But TMGMs and H&D not out of this one just yet. They're a point off of each other, and 15 and 16 points respectively for finalists.
Okay.
Egley and Barry, though, it's all on them. That's a great line. Dummy coming back with it, though. Wiggity. It's still very early on in this map. We are just going to go through the water. It is still a 1-3. The two red players leading the field. Dummy trying to break them up, and it will be broken up not by the drivers, but by the barriers, meeting Barry's good friend Barry R. So that is a 1-2 right now for Team PB. The question becomes, who goes through? It's going to be Fegley. It's got to be Fegley. There's no way it's not. Surely he makes one transfer, makes another, almost messes up and goes too wide. But Fegley gets it done first time of asking. It was going to be one of them regardless. It was just a question of who it was going to be. But she's getting 8. Wiggity's going to get 3. That'll be 11 and 9. So that'll give, what is that, 76 to TMGM and 72 over to H&D. We could have 3 teams with finalists if this goes correctly as we go into our next map rather, which is going to be Lumavale.
That's an interesting map to deal with because generally speaking, I feel like the obvious picks for who were always in front are already off the field. So there were some rounds where Cheese looked really good. There were some rounds where Dummy and Hope looked really good. Wiggity and Barry have felt quieter on this map, but that's not to say that they can't pop off, especially now with some of that pressure now off. You would have to assume that the pace is a little bit less now with, Cackney and Noisia and Fegley, who I would say are inarguably some of the scariest people on this map. I mean, just in general, you could look at the leaderboard over on the right side. Yeah, as it turns out, that statement rings true. But warm-up's over, and the heat is on. I would imagine by the end of this round, we're very likely to have 3 finalists, barring, Hope and Dummy just failing utterly, which is possible.
Yeah, and I mean, if Barry can get it done and get it in this first round, then that's it. Then we'll move on to the next stage of the tournament. But right now, it's not a good start. He's right down in 4th position. He's got Cheese behind him, and you can see the front 3/300ths of a second, just about separating them as Wig dispatches himself. So it's a 1-2 for H&D. This is perfect. They were gonna get finalists regardless. So were TMGMs. It's just a case of how it's done. They have to keep it together. There's, what is that, 6 tenths? Oh, Hope.
It's a no slide.
All right, Dummy.
There's one person separating
Dummy.
Barry.
Barry makes the mistake on the uphill. That should just about do it. I think we will see triple finalists, like you said, Acrinator. The question is it 1 round for Barry, or does everybody get somebody in and we settle this in a final decider round?
Wouldn't that be a slap in the face if everyone gets finalist and then Barry just instantly closes it out? Like, okay, take the training weights off. I was kidding, guys. We had this in the bag the whole time.
Well, it's gonna happen. 18 points and 9 points. It doesn't matter regardless. So we have triple finalist. 2 teams still need to get both their players across the line, but it is Team PB. It is Barry. I mean, you can't even say all eyes on Barry. It's all eyes on everybody. Everybody has a chance, and I think Barry's under the most pressure right now, because that's the one thing I noticed, is that when you do have a teammate who does get that finalist done and dusted, and they're, it's all set,
Barry.
You feel that pressure.
He was so close.
Oh my god. How did he hold on to it? How does he still hold on to it? It's insane. Dummy and Hope and Cheese. Wiggity's just by himself right now. He's not really much of a threat. Very bumpy. This section puts me on edge every single time, and I'm not even driving it. But Hope and Dummy pulling away right now. The drifts go really well. Cheese is a little wonky. Dummy has to let off the gas to avoid the barrier. Hope and Cheese move up into those top 2 positions. Now Dummy comes back in. Barry comes back in. Cheese touches the wall. He's out of this round. And Dummy will touch the wall again. He's out of this round. And now it's Hope up in the lead. Barry with the overtake on Wiggity, though. Is there anything left in the tank? Does Hope have what it takes to get through? Yes, he does. Hope gets it done, and he will punch his ticket through. All right, Acrinator. We are getting extra spicy. We have Randomize and Alex joining as well in the game. Oh my god.
I'm not surprised this is the last match of the round, because this has been
I'm not either.
Terrifyingly close. And now, dare I say, Hope getting the good round there is probably the best possible thing that could have happened for H&D, because Dummy, you dubbed him last weekend as the king of send, and I would say that's quite accurate. He knows when to send it, and I mean, right now he's still fighting for that first place. Now, of course, there is the risk of a mistake, because you're just hardcore sending it. You're going for broke, because if Barry, God forbid, gets across that finish line and H&D is done, they're down in that lower bracket. And I mean, TMGMs, they've been playing very valiantly. Right now, Cheese is up there battling it out, and Barry, crucially, is into the tree. He's out, and now it's up to Cheese, because Wiggity is a little bit less than a second away. Dummy still up in the lead. Still getting a good line, but jeez, has so much speed. He's really sending it. He has to know how close it is. They're right on top of each other, neck and neck. It's impossible to call it right now, but jeez, just barely in the lead. Dummy has to find something. He goes for a little bit more of an inside line. Is he going to be able to take it? He will! Just barely 26 milliseconds and coming back from the very brink. H&D will move on in the upper bracket. But they were in last place at one point. What a wild set of events.
Oh my god! And you gotta feel for PB because you had Fegley. He was done. It was all on Barry, and I think it was the pressure that got to him. He crumbled. He crumbled, and it sucks. It is tragic. Awful. You were in the lead. It was your game after Suicide Squad did their thing, of course. But once Blue Team was done, they kind of just took over. And then, everyone, it was a mix-up of who's where and who's in what position and who's getting what points. And by the end of it, it was Dummy. It was Dummy who came in clutch, and he sent it when he needed to send it. So H&D and everybody, I mean, it's ridiculous. This is
I mean, just butterfly moment. A butterfly effects moment here, back on Epic Bacon, which is like, 3 maps ago? There was a moment where Fegley and Barry were 1 and 2, and Barry crashed, and it's like, okay, well, Fegley has to finish now, otherwise they're going to get denied. But imagine if that didn't happen. Barry has been very consistent. He's been up there in terms of placements, but it's kind of rare that he's getting that first place, right? So that could have been the round that changed this entire thing. Again, just how it was crucial that Hope had that one good round and allowed Dummy to be the second one to get that validation. And so, sometimes it's just these things that happened minutes and minutes ago, rounds, maps ago, that lead to an entirely different outcome than what it otherwise could have been. But I mean, they're not out of it yet. They're just in the lower bracket. And, Hope and Dummy are going up against someone. Are they going up against Neil and Carl? Let's
yes, they are.
They're going up against Neil and Carl. So all
right, well, I mean, I'm not going to say I know how it's
fellas.
Go, but
it's
well,
I think we can look to who's going to be facing Suicide Squad to call the 3.1 match. Yeah. So
Chocket, that's made up of PC and Flimsy. They came out of. I was gonna say because Chocket came out of this. What was their seed? 5th seed. So that's a much closer match. So these next couple matches in the upper bracket will set us up for qualifiers tomorrow. So it's basically just gonna be Carl and Neil. I feel like we can kind of say that's going to happen.
No offense to the Dummy and Hope.
No, we love you guys, but we're a little bit, we're not as hopeful, if you will. And then Suicide Squad and Chocket, though, that's going to be I don't know how to call that one. It's a 2v2 now, and then we have all these lower brackets. Bluegrass Vibes made it through to the next round. So did HD Retirement, Keyboard Warriors, and Misconfigurations. So that's Bacon is gone, Halcyon is gone, Air Red is gone, and Large 3 Topping is gone as well. So they're all going to battle that out for one of the remaining spots. That'll happen alongside these upper bracket qualifiers, which we'll pick. We'll get one of them. We'll probably just stick with Suicide Squad. So
we had to avoid server 1 because it's apparently still having issues. So unfortunately, I don't think Carl's going to be on stream other than the qualifiers, but he's going to be there tomorrow. We can guarantee it.
Yep. So then after that, we do have 2 more rounds to play. It'll be that lower bracket round 3, and then the lower bracket qualifier, and that'll give us those last 2 who will make it through. Looking at the lower bracket, you got Driving Gentleman, TMGM, Bluegrass, Misconfiguration, and then PB, RPG, Keyboard, and Holy Dynasties lineup. Out of those 8, who do we see going through to the end? Because I'm looking at it, and I mean, I could say Team PB. I mean, barring, of course, Barry having a moment, which is unfortunate because I'm looking at it, when they played, they won their match. They are the 4th place team. They beat Chocket, which is 5th. They beat HD Retirement, which is 12th. They beat Halcyon, which is 13th. They came into that match swinging, it looks like, and then just fell apart. And we all saw that. We were all there. But then you look at TMGMs, they had a great comeback. They actually really, put it together. They weren't running up front as a threat by any means, but they certainly were not making it easy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can say between them, because they're not in the same bracket. They won't be unless they both go through to the next. So I could see one of them going through. I would probably put it more on TMGM than I would PB, just because of the nerves, I guess. It seems like TMGM is maybe a bit more like put together, I guess would be the word to say.
They
I
feel
don't, I
more
don't,
stable, but
yes,
it's
they are
really
more
hard
stable.
to call it right now. I also, because we
Yep.
haven't gotten a really good look at Charles and Exotica,
Hmm.
because those are two scary players, but we don't know
Yeah.
how they're performing today. We only saw them briefly in the qualifiers, and
Mhm.
that's not really a close enough look to really say, especially because I feel like both of them kind of underperformed in PATCs, you know?
Yeah,
So
they were a little. It seemed like they weren't really like all there
it felt like they were
for it.
just kind of having more fun than like super
Right?
hyper
Yeah.
competitive, which is fine,
Exactly.
but it makes it difficult to predict for them for right
Mhm.
now, you know. So
Exactly.
and we're going to be following the upper bracket, so we're just going to see the results of that. But I wouldn't be shocked to see like TMGMs and Driving Gentlemen, and then RPG players or maybe Keyboard Warriors with Team PB. I think
Uh, Keyboard. I don't know about keyboard.
it depends on how, right, because it felt like they had their moments, but then they also had their moments that were
Yeah,
not so good. So
yeah.
it
They
depends on
seem
who
a little
shows up.
rickety.
Yeah,
They're a little rickety in that regard. They had, like they said, they have their moments, but they don't. They are not as frequent or as impactful for this
yeah.
competition. So I'm not 100% with keyboard. I don't think we see them through the third round of that lower bracket. I really don't.
Yeah, we'll have to, I
And
guess,
if they do,
see.
then I'll be amazed.
Prove us wrong. But
Please.
yeah, that's always fun. But I think for now we're gonna take a quick breather as well. The next match that we're gonna be following, which is gonna be the Suicide Squad Chalk at 1v1. I get the feeling that one's gonna be pretty gnarly. So don't go anywhere, folks. Maybe go to the bathroom if you need it. Go refill your water, because we're in for quite the show. We'll be right back after this short break. back, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting down to the wire to figure out who the first 2 teams are that will be qualified into tomorrow. Remember that only 4 teams out of the 21 that started today will survive to the second day, the playoff bracket as it's being called. And, well, you know, we've been following along with Cackney and Noisy on their journey thus far. And I think we're going to stick with them through this, as this match is probably going to be a lot closer than Neil and Carl just claiming their rightful throne for the day.
Yeah, I mean, would it be fun to watch? Sure. I mean, it would be very quick. We'd be, you know, we'd be done and we'd have to come in here and be like, all right, guys, what's going on?
20 rounds in and out.
Yeah, 20. Wow, it would be less than 20. Come on, let's be real.
Because
unless there's some massive mistakes.
It would be let me think. No, it'd be 12 rounds in and out. That's what I'm thinking of. Either way, the players are in the lobby. Well, because 10
Suicide
rounds,
Squad
18
and
points.
Chalk It. We haven't seen Flimsy and PC since the qualifiers.
Yeah.
This is the first we're seeing of them. Going into the seeding, of course. They were, let me get that number pulled up for you guys. That was, Chalk It was the 5th seeded team and Suicide Squad was 2nd. So this one I could say is Suicide Squad's game. Chalk It has done, let's see, they did 2nd in their first match and 2nd in their second match. So, I mean, if you want to go off of the, you know, the wonderful world of possibilities, then maybe it happens again. It would suck if it happened again, but we're into the first round. It's still 180 points on offer. Oh, it's 20? That's odd. I feel like that's wrong.
We'll see. Oh, it might be a lower points repetition. We'll see.
That would make sense. I mean, it's if it is. Oh, you know what? It might be like 4-3-2 or like 3-2-1-0.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Hopefully
we'll
things work.
Hopefully one of these players crosses the finish line. That we can figure it out.
I would be willing to bet that at least one of them will, Acrinator. That would be a bet I'll take every day of the week. If not, then all right. Well, you know, it just wasn't meant to be. But right now, it's no, not at all. But Cackney and Flimsy are fighting it out for P1. That leaves PC and Noisia just kind of on their own in their own little sections of the track. I believe PC had a bit of a lift moment, so he couldn't run with his teammate, and Noisia having a bit of a blunder, so that put him down in last. But as we go through the last turn here, before the risky, Flimsy's going to set up inside. How about that? 300ths of a second to start off the first round here on Bug Spray. Flimsy, the beautiful setup. Cackney was powerless to it, and that will be the first 6 points coming in here for Suicide Squad. Chalk It with 4.
You know, earlier we talked, I forget about who, I think it was Hope actually, on this map where it was really bad decision making on like when to go for the risky, when to go for the safe. But that was a really good decision making there from Flimsy to know when and how to go that far on the inside. Like obviously that was hyper risky, but it paid off. Yeah. I mean, you stole that 4 points away from Cackney.
I know that was looking, I mean, if Flimsy had just gotten it a little bit screwy, a little bit awkward.
Whoa,
Speaking of screwy and awkward, both of them. Oh, Flimsy's lucky though. PC's able to step in and take that position. But as I was saying, I mean, that could have gone so incredibly wrong for Flimsy there. It almost looked like he would have kind of kicked the front end up a little bit and, you know, gotten that much tighter line.
PC.
No, he did end up getting a tighter line as PC. Oh, that was not what he wants, but he stays ahead. Let's see if Cackney can make up for it. No, he will not.
He can't. Can he even make the risky?
PC, no, he can't. Cackney steps in. Oh my god, you're kidding me. You are kidding me.
PC went backwards. Okay. I am noticing the top UI is not displaying the score, but at the very least the leaderboard is there. And we're tied, apparently. So
at 7.
Okay.
That's incredible. All right, sure. Why not?
Okay, well, this has been quite the match thus far, and with the points repetition so low, I gotta wonder, are we just playing on Bug Spray? Yeah, oh dear, what happened?
That was both Chalk It players.
Well, they're living up to their namesake, I guess.
I guess.
it's not exactly what you want to see. Is a free 7 points is going to put Suicide Squad in a really gnarly position to have to deal with if you're Chalkit. Noisia seems to be on a pretty damn good run here. I mean, Cackney's on a pretty good run himself, and Noisia is like 0.3 ahead of him.
I know, and Noisia has that 104.24. I wonder if he's going to be able to beat that. We'll see. It's he's setting it up quite nicely here. Bobsleigh transition. Oh, that was beautiful. It was butter. But we go into this drift of 59.01 on the checkpoint. 101, 104. You almost dropped it too. That was, I wonder if he set it up just a little bit better. Maybe that could have been the 104, maybe a 3, maybe a high 2. That's a great round from him, and that'll be 7 points. That'll be 20 for them, and 13 for Chalkit.
Well, now you're getting into dangerous territory. I mean, technically, if Flimsy and PC wanted to 1-2 this round, then we're tied at finalists, which would be weird. But hey, I'm all for it. But I don't think it's gonna be happening, as Flimsy is caught off on the plastic, and it's really just up to PC to stem the bleeding in some way. I mean, it's basically guaranteed now that Suicide Squad is going to hit that finalist spot. But if PC can steal that first place away, we can call it practice for next round when they have to deny.
Yeah, but I mean, even if Noisia and Cackney decide to just sit at the finish line and wait for Flimsy to come through, they would still have the finalist position. They're at 17 points. They only need 3, and 3 is the minimum payout here. But yeah, for PC, this is good. It was Flimsy, I was surprised, clipped in the way he did. Oh, Noisia got that one a little bit weird. And PC and Cackney coming off of the bobsleigh wall, not the best, not what we're used to at least. But into it, PC goes. So that'll be 4 for him. Cackney and Noisia will get that finalist set up. And now it is 2 points for Chalkit. So they got to start denying. And if I'm not mistaken, we will be doing the 2 validations. So still much to play for PC and Flimsy. They're not out of it just yet.
Oh, absolutely not. But the difficulty is that both Noisia and Cackney are absolutely capable of just hard sending it. So neither of these players are easy, right? There's not necessarily a weak link as Flimsy.
Well, Flimsy.
Yeah, he clips the exact same place, if I'm not mistaken, and PC does start to push it pretty hard, and he does have, like a 1/10 and some change lead on Cackney. Yep. I wouldn't rest easy if our PC. You're going to have to send it, because Cackney's going to. He's already taking a lot of these corners very tight and coming into the no-break section, as well as the bug slide coming up. There's a lot of opportunities to overtake, but I think PC got the better of it there, so he's going to maintain the lead, but it's not a huge lead, and I don't think you can really rest easy until you're already at the finish. Even then, Cackney's going very inside. You can see how hard he wants to push it, but he doesn't get quite as much speed there. PC goes wider, has better exit speed coming into this. He just needs to keep it clean, and Cackney's made more mistakes here in the finish line. Cackney going very inside, but it's not enough, and PC does exactly what he needs to. Flimsy just needs to finish. And now we're in a double finalist situation. We're going to start seeing players come off the board regardless of who finishes.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit spicy here. I am so ready. I am so ready for what is about to go down. Double finalist here. So we are staying on bug spray, so it looks like we're well and truly past that point. So at most, we will have 3 more rounds of play, unless of course one of these teams can get both players through. But at the start, it's a lot better. Flimsy's made up for past mistakes. It's actually PC right now that's running in the back, and that is gonna be Flimsy. I spoke too soon. Now he's fallen off. It all falls to PC to somehow find a gap, or find a bit of speed that overcomes the gap in front of him right now. He doesn't get that no-break section as well. He wasn't able to fully keep the throttle depressed. Flimsy DNFs. So it is all on PC. Cackney and Noisia leading it. Ooh, Noisia a little bit wide there on the exit. It's okay, though. Oh, PC, I don't know how he held that together. Cackney's keeping it steady. Noisia there to play safety just in case, but we'll jump in. Cackney gets it done. Noisia in second, PC third, Flimsy DNFs. Is this it? Is this it, Acrinator?
It might be. I don't know. Cackney's certainly the one who sends it harder than Noisia does, but I mean, Noisia's pretty good at the video game, so it's hard to really call. You know what I mean? We really just need Flimsy to lock in a way, you know, because PC's been doing really well on this map, and this is not an easy map. I mean, I remember PATC was a little bit hard to judge because oftentimes he was just DNFing as he didn't really care, it felt like. But he seems a lot more practiced, a lot more comfortable right now, and well, Flimsy has survived the start, so that's an increase in performance. That's what we've seen recently. Noisia getting a little bit of an awkward drop down there, but he's still in the run of it, actually gaining on PC. He does have a little bit more speed coming into this section. Is he going to maintain his lead? PC goes very inside. I think he has about equal speed. I thought he had more. Noisia is taking these corners a lot tighter, though. That's PC's worst nightmare. He needs to make sure that he stays in the lead, because I don't think Flimsy's going to be in a position to overtake. They both get the bobsleigh about equal, but Noisia is up in the front by a little bit less than a tenth. They're going to have to risk the finish, but Noisia's risking it. He fails the risk, and that gives PC the finish.
Oh my god.
Dear. 1v1 now, and I don't know how to call it, honestly. Legion, help me here.
I don't... I mean, I was thinking about it, is that if Noisia messes up at some point, Flimsy, PC can say, okay, well, I'll DNF Flimsy, go for the save or whatever, so you can get this round. Now you're looking at a much tougher battle with Flimsy and being just by himself against Noisia. This is a map that he, really hasn't been too confident on this start here. He took it a little safer, and he's actually come out of it a bit better than Noisia. Noisia's not out of it yet, not by a long shot. He's gonna just not be in the lead through the checkpoint, but still, it's very early. The author medal on this map, a 104.4, so we're not even halfway, but now we're halfway through this. Flimsy, I am amazed at the fight he's putting up right now. He's doing everything he can to keep Noisia behind him, and it continues to go his way. Noisia, everything in the playbook, he's pushing so hard through the platform. I don't know how he didn't clip there, but now we're going into the bobsleigh. It's a slightly different line, but the entry is going to be about the same. Flimsy is going to take an inside line. Noisia is going to go outside there, and he does come out the other side in front. The only thing that's going to mess it up, he doesn't get the risky. Misses.
They're both respawning.
Oh my god, everybody's missing. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way Flimsy missed this finish. I can't believe it. That is... unbelievable! How? That was it. Noisia, he clipped the platform. He got the bug slide too well. And what happened? What happened? I don't know. I don't know.
Clown fiesta happened.
Oh my god! I looked. I saw the respawn. I saw the car was hanging there for a second, and then it's like, all right, well, I can take a look, and I see, the finish is here, and Flimsy is over here, and I'm like, sir, bring it to the right. I don't even know what happened, but they'll win the map. They'll go to the next one. Is this a best of 5? I think it's a best of 5. You got a little hype for no reason.
Well, that's still a point for Suicide Squad. Now, mind you, they're in
so that's
so
why.
don't freak out.
So it's not updating. That was still ridiculous, though. It is a best of 5. Thank you, Minimize. I was gonna say, I was like, one map is kind of point. I mean, if you want us to get out, like, I get it, but like, damn.
but we're...
what a round! What a round! I guess we have to read the rulebook again. Whoopsie.
I did read the rulebook. I didn't see that part, though.
I did too. I just forgot. Yes, yeah, we got that. We put 2 and 2 together, randomized. We put our brain cells together. I kind of figured that was
the case when I saw the points not updating, but I had to get through.
I thought it was something wrong with the script. I was like, it's probably the scripts. Scripts always have problems, but Suicide Squad will take a 1-0 lead here in this best of 5, as we are on to Coconut. Cackney has made an error pretty much right at the start, so that leaves Noisia up by himself. Flimsy and PC, they just have to hang close. Any mistake that Noisia makes could be all they need to gain a massive advantage. Of course, Cackney, the only person in this lobby that actually has a time on the board of 54-7, top 3 in the world right now, but Noisia putting a pretty good case for himself for getting on that board as well. He has to beat Carl Jr.'s 54-758 or Cheese's 54-757, but that dirt uphill, ooh, I don't think either of them got it right. It'll be a 54-6.
Okay.
5-6, so he'll take over second. All right, maybe we'll get
long.
to see an update this time.
Probably. I think it takes a round, so it might not be immediately, but it should be after the next round, unless it does pop up. You'll see the little red in the corner. Yeah, no, I think it'll be next round. Sometimes it's even more delayed than that. Just depends. But either way, both teams are, as you can see, currently tied. 5 points all across the board. All that for really just a nice time. And I guess getting a fourth of the way there, but everyone's a fourth of the way there. Noisia, however, I think he's feeling hungry for a world record because he's once again on a banger run right now. And I mean, if there's ever a time to do it, now's not a bad one. Cackney is now up there with him. Where did he go?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. He's out of it now, so we might be seeing yet another 5 points across the
PC.
board. PC. I don't think he's in the mud as much. No, okay, Cackney's significantly more in the mud. Noisia keeps the gear and will run away with a slightly slower time, but that's still a really good time. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, that's amazing. 54-8 after running a 54-6-5 in that last round.
Like that.
So, yeah, and that's, you know what's crazy? 54-6-5 still isn't author time. Author time is a 54-5-1-5, so not even world record, and everybody gets 5 points again.
Well, keep in mind, this is also the DC edition, so it's not like
that's true.
I just realized in the name, but even still, that means that the times here are rounds times.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. It's still very fast, so not to discredit or anything, but we are all tied up at 10. So Acrinator, do we go a clean 5 for 5 every single round?
Well, now it's going to require Cackney to pull a Noisia, as Noisia clipped, and he's at least a second behind. By the time he stabilizes, probably a second and a half. And Cackney's currently battling just for second place. Flimsy's on a banger run of his own, and PC seems to be pulling away from Cackney. So, I mean, we might be seeing a solid, what would that be, 7 and 3 split, as it were. Or the Cackney's not really finding too much luck here. Flimsy, again, pretty far ahead of his own teammate even, and PC's not having a bad run either. Flimsy pushing it very close to the wall, pulls away from the outside, and that is third world. Or I guess, yeah, third world.
Third world.
Because Noisia's time hasn't calculated. Yeah, so that's a pretty good rounds time, dare I say. As we do have a little bit of differentiation now. Chalk It, at the very least, has a couple of points on them. Granted, with the way this is set up, it's not necessarily going to matter. Everyone's going to get finalists within like a round of each other.
Right, unless, of course, Suicide Squad gets a 1-2, and it's Chalk It with a 3-4. So either way, best case scenario, we get double finalists right away here on Coconut after only a few rounds of play. 3 to be exact, 4 coming up here. So it'd be a nice quick finalist into this second map, but it's a great start for everybody. Nobody's made a mistake, although Cackney and Noisia have come out of the sausage section better. That gap is going to be just about 0.2 of a second. Flimsy in the back, he's trying to wait for anything, but Cackney and Noisia, it's a absolutely bang around for the two of them on the uphill. Flimsy's got a little bit more speed, but it's going to come just a little too late. We are on double finalist. Everybody got it in 4 rounds. So now we will have 3 more rounds of this before we go to the next map. First map is Bug Spray, Carl Jr. versus Dummy for map point, and Dummy won within a 100th of a second. That's okay. I can't believe that. That's a thing.
I can believe it. Because Dummy was like the one person who was able to put up a fight against Carl, and basically the entire playing field on Defy for America's Masters. And Bug Spray is kind of similar to Defy with all the water tricks and the bug slides and whatnot. So if there's ever going to be a map for that, it's going to be Bug Spray. So Proud of you, dummy, but do it again. Knock Carl Jr. down into the lower bracket, please. It would be
That
hilarious.
would be terrifying. Can you imagine being one of those lower ranked teams? You're like, oh boy, I wonder who I get to play. Carl Jr. and Neil, and you're like, got it. So I'll just forfeit, I guess. I don't know, but it's right now Noisia Flimsy's DNF.
Oh, PC, what was that?
Coming back with a hell of a speed, and I think he will get this round. No way. What was he, like a 10th and a half back going into that and just decided to pull up?
He pressed B for boost.
My boy pulled up to the function with the beans already made. That's a ridiculous round from him.
But now it's going to be on Flimsy. Although Flimsy has had a much better time on Coconut than he did on on Bug Spray. So if there were ever a map to do it, this is certainly one of them. But he's not starting out in the best. You know, he's...
Oh.
Okay, well, Cackney just deletes himself from existence, so Flimsy suddenly has half the troubles, as he did just a few seconds ago. But Noisia still doesn't seem too willing to give up this first place spot, and Flimsy has a little bit of an awkward gear there, so he will lose maybe a couple hundreds, giving Noisia a little bit more security in that first place. But you can see Flimsy's starting to push it. He knows he needs to. I'm sure PC's calling for him right now, and that's a beautiful drift from Flimsy. You can see how much more speed he has. He's looking to overtake, and he's neck and neck with Noisia, but it's all going to come down to this outside dirt. Noisia seems to have it better. Is he going to be able to overtake? He will. A great play there from Flimsy. 1/10 at the end of it all. Was not tied, even though it took a minute for it to update, but that was a great round from Flimsy. And unfortunately for him, I don't think you can rely on Cackney to do the exact same thing again.
No, it looked like, I mean, I thought Flimsy had it, but that uphill, he was just a little too safe with it there right at the end, and it was Noisia, of course, that pushed it. So we will go last round here on Coconut. Suicide Squad looking to go up 2-0 in this best of 5. Chalkit still looking for their first map, but right now 8 thousandths of a second have separated these two, and that gap will begrudgingly grow as Cackney does get the overtake. Both of their teammates are going to be in their ear, giving them instruction, letting them know, Flimsy, that was not the line you wanted. He got it tied down, but just barely. Cackney's all over the place. He's getting some airtime, so that's putting him out of this one. Not out of this one, but he's not in a position. He's less than a 10th behind Flimsy. We are getting to the end. How hard does Cackney push it? They're both going to push it about the same, but as we come up and over, Cackney tried to get a closer line on the inside, but it will be Flimsy that comes out on top. It is 600ths of a second between the two of them, but at the end of it all, it will be map number 2 going to Chalkit, and it is best of 5. We still have a few more maps to play, Acrinator.
We're guaranteed at least 2 more, and the way this is going, I would not be too sad to see it go all the way to map 5, honestly. And well, this next map, anyone's best guess is as good as mine, honestly. Nix, if you're watching, who's your prediction for this? Because you probably have a better idea than us.
Oh God, how do you call this?
We gotta see a couple rounds first, honestly.
I know. Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, we're in warm up. That's not going to give us anything. It's only 30 seconds, and the map is over a minute long. So, who knows?
It's such a sadistic map because it's weird, right? It's very, very weird. It doesn't feel intuitive. You really have to grind it out to get used to it. And then it's like over a minute long. So it's just like, yes, suffer, and then suffer even more. Well, here we go. We are going to be getting into the first round, and this is going to be the statement piece for these teams. As, well, can we avoid the 5s all around the board as we've been seeing for the past couple maps? Now it seems to be the trend, but I guess with such a close points repartition, it's pretty easy to stay even, as it were. Currently, Cackney falls off, leaving PC and Noisia up in the front. I don't even know what happened to Flimsy. It was completely off camera.
No idea.
So it's just a battle of 1v1s right now, each between the two teams. But PC has a pretty demanding lead right now in terms of where he's positioned in front of Noisia.
Yeah, he's got a really healthy gap. I mean, 3.5 or over 3.5 tenths in a situation like this is really good, especially as you're coming into the end here on Epic Bacon. We've seen rounds get decided by a lot less, but we've also seen rounds get decided by a lot more. But thankfully this time around, PC will find his way through. Then it's Noisia and Flimsy, as long as he doesn't make any big mistakes, and we will start it off
good.
once again with another 5. So we're keeping that trend going.
I'm pretty sure that minute .125 from Carl Jr. is recent. I don't think that was world record as of, like last round. Last round of matches, rather, not the round of this map. But, yeah. I can't say I'm surprised that he's coming in and just driving obscenely fast rounds. He's, for however much or little he practiced coming into this event, he's obviously just going to be learning the maps more and more as we go. It's like, yes, he ramps up over time as if he wasn't scary enough. He's not even in this match and we have to talk about him. But either way, Noisia looks a lot cleaner this time around. No minor mistakes here and there. Flimsy also in the fray, and PC is actually the one who's trailing. Not too far behind, but he's certainly not in the running for that first place spot, as Suicide Squad look to be in the 1-2 position. Flimsy trying to at least get second place in there, but I don't think anyone from the red team wants to give him a position. But he will fall further down. Maybe that gives PC the chance to overtake. He
Flimsy?
will. No, not quite. He didn't quite have the speed, but it was a good attempt.
Oh my god, 0.02 of a second. That's... God, we're keeping the 5s going.
Yeah. We should just start at finalist, randomize. Can we, get in there with the commands? And
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But I'm sure these players are just counting the seconds until they can start to get off the board. So that seems to be when this really heats up right now. It's just like the calm before the storm, because they're gonna make progress. They just need to finish to get the points.
That's a bit of a bumbling mistake there from Noisia. He actually doesn't get the checkpoint, so he has to fully respawn that one. If you're chalk it, this is great, because you're gonna bank on Cackney. If Cackney makes that mistake, it's 17-13, and we have a very similar situation to what happened last time, which would be not all that surprising. But Cackney is putting up a grand argument for that not being the case, and with Noisia only being about 5.5 seconds back, this is very much looking like yet another 5. So at worst, we see a team get 18 and somebody getting finalists, but Flimsy's got some speed, but Cackney gets the transfer so much better. He almost takes himself out at the line. So it's another 5, so we're at 15. Do we do it again? Do we do it again? Do we decide that we want 5 more points? I vote yes.
I don't think the players care about our vote, but I'm sure they care about their own, and I'm sure they would love to deny their opponents a finalist spot, at least for one round. But it's going to be up to them. We've had very few mistakes, but there's always been like one big mistake that's pushing someone down into that 4th place spot.
Right.
Yeah, well, as I say that, Cackney kind of bumps his roof, but he's still in the fray. Right, he's not too far behind, and with the reactor, that's kind of like the great equalizer here in terms of speed, so he's right back up into it. Flimsy, I think, even slid out a little bit, so he falls kind of fighting for third or fourth, rather, with Noisia, but right now PC relatively stable in that 1st place.
Oh, but Cackney got a little bit of airtime there on that turnaround, so that puts Flimsy in 2nd place, but they're coming back already. PC still running it in 1st right now. There's about a 10th or so, unless Flimsy messes this up. Cackney gets the touch early, and he will go into 2nd. Nice. It's another 5 points. Unbelievable. Unless Noisia can't make the finish. No, he will. Okay. We are tied at 5 all. At 20, everybody. We did 4 rounds. We are expecting 7.
It's 19.
Oh, no, because... Oh, my God. How did I not see that? I'm actually
it's
three-heading.
all right. Noisia missed the finish, essentially. He like clipped the wrong thing, and
Oh yeah, you're right. I
just
got to do
utterly
math. I'm
destroyed
sorry.
his run. He could have gotten second though, or third rather. Cackney was
Yeah.
pretty much verified into second, but that's a pretty good spot for Chalkit now. As I mean, obviously they don't have to play denial, but they could also just get first and get someone out. But you know,
But
as
then
I say
if
that,
you
they're
do
both
that,
first and second.
yeah.
All PC is not going
Oh,
to
boy.
be closing out as finalist this round, but Flimsy is also probably not, let's be honest here. He's a little bit too far behind, and with that small clip, that's certainly going to be too much to overcome. Even with Noisia making a mistake, Cackney's just too far ahead. Flimsy can't even overtake Noisia right now, so it's just going to be getting the finalists, and, you know, just going with it from there. So it might as well have been a 5-5.
Yeah.
Oh,
There it is.
that's a bit of mud.
Yeah, so that's it. That'll be Suicide Squad. Also,